And we're back. Episode 5, Brodie Pod. Welcome back, everybody. If you've been following the podcast, we're available on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Be sure to rate the podcast on Spotify, or if you're over on YouTube, which I think that's where most people find us. It's please like and subscribe. And if you're not already, please follow the podcast at Brodie Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Once again, that's at Brodie Pod. Instagram's been a lot more active lately. TikTok's been very active. We actually had a lot of great traction over there. And Twitter, as always, Matt's doing a great job. And if you just want to see clips from the podcast or show updates, whether scheduling, which that might be a little different next week, we'll see, or anything more, just be sure to go follow us there on all the social medias. Matt, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. I do want to just piggyback on the TikTok. Dude, TikTok's been blowing. It's been low key blowing up.
TikTok's been doing really great. It's been what a great
little avenue for starting, a little social media, something, podcast, YouTube channel, whatever it is. TikTok's just probably the best way to go about growing it.
Yeah, and I'm also working on I know since a lot of people come through the YouTube as well. I'm trying to work on getting YouTube shorts and reels out there. So that's a work in progress. Got to figure out all the formatting stuff. Right now, it's a fun passion project. Just trying to put everything out there on all the different platforms. It's been a pretty good job so far. Pretty banged up, if I don't say so myself. I know our Derrick Henry clip that went on the TikTok last week, that ended up getting a lot of traction and a lot of debate on whether people would take the money or not. So
yeah, also the Baker take.
Yeah, we probably have a lot more Tampa Bay fans now listening to the podcast. We kind of hit all the avenues.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Matt as a Saints fan is not happy about that one. But
I'll take the support where I can get it, dude.
Yeah. That's kind of the intro out of the way. We can go ahead and get into the first segment of the show, which is Brodie of the Week. And for anyone that might be new here, this is a segment that we do just kind of finding a guy or a gal, and we think it's someone that's either doing a really good job in the sport, did a good job in the last week, or just did something cool, something that we found interesting that maybe isn't getting a lot of spotlight. Matt, do you want to take it away with the Brodie of the Week, your first two? I think we each have two.
Yeah, Brodies or Brodettes, by the way. So the first one will be a Brodie, Fernando Mendoza. Had a great week. It took down, Indiana was able to take down Oregon this week. It was a close one. It was 30-20. But for me personally, I think he's moved up into the number one spot for the Heisman and the Heisman conversation. I think he's
really
solidified himself there. Yeah. I mean, their team is now, not to get ahead of the podcast, but they're ranked third now in the nation.
It's a good teaser for our college football segment.
Yeah. Through 6 games, he has over 1,400 passing yards. He's got 17 passing touchdowns. And the biggest, most surprising stat, only 2 interceptions. And one came against Oregon this week, but still, he had a great game. I think over 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he's doing this against pretty decent competition. I mean, he's taking down Illinois, who's another ranked team. They're pretty good. And obviously Oregon, taking down Oregon. I think they dropped to, I don't know, we'll get into it later, but they're still top 10. And then my next one will be a Brodette.
First Brodette of the podcast, by the way.
First Brodette. We're making her story here.
There we go.
Yeah, Asia Wilson. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yep.
Which is probably the craziest stat I've seen, especially this year in sports. She's the first player in WNBA or NBA history to win MVP, regular season MVP, finals MVP, and defensive player of the year in the same season.
That is an absolute Cinderella season right there.
Dude, I mean, just look at, the NBA players like in history. Like Kareem has never done that, even though he's won like 5 or 6 MVPs.
Michael Jordan has never done that.
Michael Jordan's never done that. Like Shaq, LeBron. I don't think LeBron has a DPOY, but that's another conversation. That's another conversation for another time. But yeah, dude. I mean, in the postseason, she averaged 27. This is against like the best competition, right? In the WNBA, she averaged 27 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, about two steals, and 2.5 blocks, which is a testament to her scoring ability and defensive ability. I think she's obviously the best in the WNBA. She might go down as the best ever.
I don't know. Who's her competition? On the hills.
Who's her competition?
Clark.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
I don't think she's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, Sue Bird's there, obviously, is one of the best, but I think her and I don't know if you know who she's dating.
No.
Bam Adebayo.
Really?
Miami Heat center. Yeah, I think they're, as of now, I think they're the biggest sports power couple. It'd be hard to beat that.
Their kids are going to
right?
be basketball superstars.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to be a superstar in any sport they play, probably.
Actually, how long have they been dating? Do you know?
No,
No.
I don't know how long, but it's been
Oh,
quite a while.
we might throw that in the podcast. We can throw stuff in after the cut. So, of course, that's your Brodie and Brodette of the week.
Yeah, and just this isn't a Brodie, but it's just I'm an LSU fan, right? I want to highlight
Oh,
when they have a good, a player who did well in a game. I just want to just bring up Trey'Dez Green, tight end for LSU. True sophomore. He's 6'7", 240. And they played South Carolina this week. This reminded me, watching him play, reminded me of Jimmy Graham. Like, they would have him out wide, and they would, like, his touchdown catch, they had him out wide, they threw it to him, and, I mean, what are you going to do? As a corner, a DB, or a linebacker, he's going to be bigger than any DB. He's going to be bigger than any linebacker. Actually, he's 6'7". I mean,
240 is a crazy size for a linebacker or for a tight end.
I know. I mean, it reminds me of like a Jimmy Graham kind of archetype.
Because Alabama's guy they put out there, he was 6'7", 280, something like that. 6'7", yeah, for all the TikTok kids. Since
Yeah,
we're TikTok famous now.
Yeah, but he had a good game, dude. 8 catches, 119 yards, a touchdown. Obviously got
Absolutely
the
stellar
dub.
game. Took down South Carolina, which is just we're just teasing the college football. If
We're
anyone's
teasing.
following the podcast, there is segments below if you want to skip to whatever game you want to see. But not before I get to my Brodies of the week, and these two go hand in hand. First one, I don't know, Matt. Which one do you want? One or two first? The
I
second,
mean, they're both so good.
yeah. First one's going to lead us into the NFL, but
Let's do the second one first, and then the next one. And then
let's go second one first. All right, my first one, Cameron Dickey, Texas Tech running back, absolutely had himself a day running the ball. 21 carries, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's the 5th most in Texas Tech history of running backs, and it couldn't have come at a better time. We're just teasing the college football segment. It's probably a good college football segment coming up, just with everything that went down. But had himself a day, was running through the fireworks smoke, and Kansas was starting to come back. No, Cameron Dickey shut the doors on him. Absolutely my Brodie of the week. Saved probably my weekend of sports, of watching him take off down the field. My second Brodie of the week, also a Cam Skattebo, another running back, New York Giants running back. He is, I really put him on here because his game, but also I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out here. He was shirtless with Ryan Fitzpatrick after the game, gave him a chest bump. He will let his personality show. He's also on my fantasy team. Might be another reason he's on here. The other guy that saved my season. I was something with the Cams this weekend and running the ball. He had 3 touchdowns in one game, and he is the second rookie running back for the Giants to have a 3-touchdown game. Can you guess the other one? Probably not, because it happened in 1971. Charlie Evans. So Cam Skattebo, the CTE legend. We've talked about him here on past episodes. He is my Brodie of the week.
Didn't even give me a chance.
You didn't need to. You weren't getting that one. That one, you ain't
only
pulling.
only reason I'm getting that because I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, you're looking at the show notes right now. So that's the Brodie of the Week segment. With that, we can get into our next segment, which, Matt, I think you have something planned for us. It might be a little interactive if you guys are watching on the YouTube or the Spotify, but we're going to go with it's a quiz that Matt has set up, and you're about to see true sports knowledge for me and Matt right now.
Yeah. Please ignore the 1 million ads that you're looking at right now. But yeah, I thought there'd just be a fun little thing. We could, short little quiz. I mean, it's giving us 7 minutes. So hopefully it's a
time thing?
Yeah. Oh, it's timed.
Good,
I think we can get this.
Go on for a while.
We got 2 brains going at it at the same time. I think we're able to get it. This is the last Pro Bowl quarterback for each team as of this year's Pro Bowl. So I think that makes it. You guys are about to see
Matt's typing ability on full display right now.
It's not going to be good, but yeah, obviously some had one this season, and some.
Oh, it tells us the year. Okay, that helps. I thought this was just going to be straight off the dome.
There's no way we're getting that straight off the dome without the year. That'd be so hard.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it then.
All right, play quiz. Arizona Cardinals.
Give me Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
All right.
Atlanta Falcons 2017.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
I mean, I don't I want the viewers to. Let me pause. I want the viewers, if they want to have a chance at it. We're probably going to go pretty fast here. Just as
pause
soon as
go and see who you can get. I think there's going to be a couple we get caught up on, but
yeah, but as soon as we have a guess, I'm going to write it down, and that might not give a viewer, if they want to play along, that enough time to actually play along, but so they can pause it or whatever y'all want to do. But we're just going to go at it. Ravens, obviously.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, Bills, obviously, former
Josh
MVP.
Allen.
Panthers.
Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton.
It's got to be.
I think it'd be more impressive if we do this in order. All right, Chicago Bears.
I know this
Is
one. I don't know if you know this.
Is that Trubisky? This is
It
going to
is.
be okay. It is
It
Trubisky.
is
Mitchell
former
Trubisky.
Nickelodeon most valuable player.
MVP.
MVP. Bengals.
Bengals.
I mean, yeah,
Joe
these are just
Burrow.
now. Oh wait, Browns.
Okay, this is where we're gonna get caught
Right
up.
off. I mean, this is the only one that's not in. Okay, the Jets have one in 09, but there's the only two they don't have one.
2008. Who was the
recent.
Browns quarterback in 2008?
Ouch, no, like
This is where we're gonna struggle.
Like
This is
it
where
might have to be a little skipperooski here.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and get through the rest of them. If we think of it, we'll come back. Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott.
Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning.
Detroit Lions. Okay. Yeah.
Jared
All the
Goff.
ones recent are going to be super easy to get.
Packers. Aaron Rodgers. Texans. C.J. Stroud.
A little surprising, but okay.
Colts. 2024.
Wait. Oh.
That wasn't also Matt Ryan. No.
Oh my God, we're casuals. This is last year, my boy.
Carson Wentz?
Oh, he was on the Colts last year.
Oh, man.
Colts?
This is where...
Wait,
AJ Richardson might have...
No
Did he
chance.
make it?
He got injured. No. Anthony Richardson? Dude, this is last year.
Wait. No, we're falling apart.
Bears are going to be screaming at their screen.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Who was the quarterback for the Colts last year?
Anthony Richardson went down, and then who did they have? Who stepped in?
Matt Ryan was there.
Matt Ryan was not there.
Yeah, not last year. Was it Phillip Rivers? No.
Dude.
They did have some old school quarterback come in. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's skip to the Jags. Let's skip to the Jags. Trevor Lawrence. All right, Kansas City Chiefs. Easy. Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, Raiders 2023.
God, this is so much harder than we thought it was going to be.
No. Come on.
I don't think the viewers are going to have to pause this at all. I think they're just going to see Derek Carr. Okay.
So I was with his boy. They both went to Fresno State.
Chargers got to be Justin Herbert.
Herbert.
All right. Rams, Matthew Stafford. All right. Miami Dolphins, Tua.
Listen, brother. If they're not going to accept Tua, I can't spell Tagovailoa. So. 2025 Vikings.
We got it. I'll look up how to spell
Sam Darnold. Patriots. Drake May made the Pro Bowl this year? What?
All right, man. I dropped it in the show notes for you.
Did everybody opt out? I'm just not going to type it in. I'm not going to type it in because we know it. We got that right.
Saints 2020 Drew Brees.
Sure. Jets 09.
Giants, we got Manning already when we did Peyton Manning.
Who is this? It is.
Jets, Brett Favre. What a pull.
Jets 09.
Eagles, Jalen Hurts.
Steelers.
Pittsburgh. That was it Russell last year? This is last year, right?
You know more ball than me.
Russell Wilson? I'm making sure I say these for anyone
Wait, no.
It's
Justin Fields. It's Justin Fields. No, okay, I'm stupid. This is this year.
Well, that's not possible.
This past season.
The Pro Bowl hasn't happened.
The Pro Bowl has happened this year. Like, it's for last season, but it was played this year. It's the 24-25 season. Is that not? Wasn't Russell Wilson and Justin Fields on the Steelers last year?
Was it both of them? Yeah, they
were
definitely there.
I typed in Russell, not Russell.
Oh,
Wilson.
Okay, it is Russell Wilson. All right, San Francisco 49ers.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah. Bucks. That would have been Geno Smith.
I mean, these are all just layups. I mean, this quiz might have been a little too easy.
No, we got to go back and get all the ones we missed.
I know, but...
Tampa Bay Baker?
Can't spell it right, but yeah.
All right, Tennessee Titans.
2020 Titans. Is this...
Tannehill?
Yeah.
Nice.
Commanders. And then,
That's Jane Daniels. All right, now we got a minute 30 to get the ones that we missed. Browns, I just have no clue who the Browns had. Colts?
Somebody's going to know it, dude. Somebody's pissed.
Browns
I think Colts. We might not get Browns, but we could get Colts. We got a minute. A little over a minute. Colts. I mean, hello?
It wasn't Matt Ryan.
No.
It wasn't Anthony Richardson.
No. Who was your backup last year?
Dude, this is tough. It wasn't Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was in Minnesota last year.
I'm just typing names. Like, it wasn't.
I'm trying to. I think we've hit all the Colts quarterbacks.
This season, like this past season.
Not Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was already gone, right? Oh, this segment might never be coming back. Although it is the Browns and Colts.
We shouldn't. Quiz shouldn't be this easy.
30
seconds, dude. Please.
A red flag if we.
I feel like Browns. Like, what is it? Tim Cash. There's. I'm just blanking, dude.
Yeah,
fully blanking.
Seconds.
I mean, the other ones were just so easy.
Dolphins is too, but we just can't spell it.
Every other answer was so easy. I'm about to.
I really want to know. I want to know who these are now.
This might be the last podcast.
I don't think
I'm gonna.
No, Browns and Colts is. I think that's okay. Who was it? Gardner Minshew. I forgot he was on the Colts like 2 years ago. Derek Anderson. We weren't getting that any. Not even close.
I'm so sorry. I don't.
Gardner
This
Minshew.
is
We do have to do apology for. We should have known that.
sure. Apologize for that. Should have known it probably, but I just want to take this time to reiterate what has been said before in the NFL space. Pro Bowls are not a testament to how good a player is. I want that to be said. I want everybody to be known to that fact. That's a fact. This is not. You shouldn't say some quarterback is so good because they have like 5 Pro Bowl appearances. Like if Gardner Minshew can make the Pro Bowl, give me 3 years, and
She'll be in there.
I'm getting there, dude. Yeah, Derek Anderson. Nah, that's nah.
Yeah, I don't. I think we talked about this in the last podcast. The Browns have had 41 quarterbacks since 2000. It could have
Yeah.
been any of them.
This was
I'm really
probably
surprised it
what
wasn't Baker, but
this might have been like their 10th quarterback they had since 2001.
yeah. So as a new segment, we might bring it back. We kind of have a space to fill with this segment. 91% is not too bad. Actually, it's higher than 91%. So we would have got 2. We just can't spell
Let's
Tagovailoa.
see the average score is 79.
Yeah. So we're above average. Above
This is
average.
very
ball
surprising.
nose.
I think this might have been a little too easy just based on the rest of the names. And these, we should have got Minshew, but we're not getting Derek Anderson. So we should have got all but one.
Yeah.
Probably.
If anyone has any other quizzes, feel free to tweet them at us on Twitter or any other ways you get in touch with us on the YouTube comments or something. With that, we'll come back and we will recap the NFL. Was it week 6? We're already in week 6. So that's crazy. So we'll see you guys in a second. We're back to recap the NFL week 6. And this week was a lot better. Last week we had some blowouts, some games that weren't as close. This week was a lot better. And starting off with, if anyone watched Thursday Night Football, I think everyone in America picked Philly to win that game. They thought, oh, they lost to Denver. They'll come back and bounce back. Nope. Giants take down the Eagles 34-17. And I got to ask the question, man, are the Giants a fun team? Are they a playoff team now? I mean, losing Malik Neighbors last week, but that didn't seem to stop them as they took down the Super Bowl champion, the Eagles. Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, rookie phenoms. Am I saying this right? The Giants are fun. I don't think I had it on my bingo card that the Giants were gonna go in there and with a rookie quarterback take them down, but they did. Jackson Dart went 17 for 25, 195 yards and a touchdown. Cam Scatterbo, as I alluded to in Brodie of the Week, 19 carries, 98 yards, 3 touchdowns, and had over 100 yards total. But I think the question really becomes is, are the wheels falling off in Philly? I don't know. Matt, what'd you see in this game?
Yeah, I just saw a lot of positive stuff for Jackson Dart. I know I do follow some guy on YouTube that's a really big Giants fan, and even he has a big following on YouTube. Shout out Bingle. He was very not pleased with the Jackson Dart pick, especially trading back up in the first round to grab him. He had a lot of question marks, around him coming into the draft. But there were a couple things that were for certain. Was he was good at extending plays, improvising, getting out of pressure in the pocket, and he's a good scrambler, very athletic, and he's put that on display through these last 3 games that he's played. And so I think, I guess his ball placement was kind of a question. His accuracy, can he fit the ball in a tight windows at the pro level? I think, especially this game, obviously he can. Only missed 8. Only had 8 incompletions, 17 for 25 is just super impressive for not only a rookie, but a quarterback in general. So we're seeing some good stuff. Already through 3 games, he's just getting better every single week.
Yeah, I think initially a lot of people, when they saw that Jackson Dart pick, I know there's even like a meme that goes around. It's like, you picked Jackson Dart over Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, like that girl.
Yeah, the Philly
whatever her
fan.
name is.
That take hasn't aged the best since then. But
he's like milk.
I think I was kind of on the same route as I was like, okay, well, Jackson Dart struggled in college. What can he do in the NFL? I like him as a quarterback for the Giants. He's got kind of a good pocket presence. I was kind of, Matt, I asked you this earlier in the week, but I was like, who does Jackson Dart remind you of when he's playing, when he's moving around? Kind of, how is he looking as the first 2 games, I guess, of his career? Maybe an early overestimate of his abilities. My initial thoughts when I'm seeing him play and move in the pocket is I think he looks almost a lot like his quarterback that he just replaced, a young Russell Wilson. The way he's able to move around the pocket, use his feet to extend plays, and He throws a pretty decent deep ball as well. So I'm like, he must be spending a lot of time with Russell Wilson in the locker room. And then Cam Scatterboo, an absolute freak of nature,
I
tearing it
like
up.
that. I think my comp would be rookie year Josh Allen
Rookie
because
year,
yeah,
gunslinger.
gunslinger, super athletic. Definitely didn't have the best decision making his rookie year. Just struggled a lot, and there were question marks surrounding him. What was Josh Allen going to develop into his true potential? Just some guy out of Wyoming. Had a lot of turnovers his rookie year. And every year he's improved. And I think the same thing will happen for Jackson Dart. And like you said
Uh,
earlier, he's out. Malik Neighbors, who's their number one receiver, who's arguably a number one receiver in the NFL when he's fully healthy. He's certainly, top five, I would say. Top
yeah,
5 to 7. So
this
that's a huge,
it makes
playmaker
that
they're
injury
missing.
sting a lot more because they were able to take down Philly without him. Imagine how scary the Giants would be with Malik Neighbors also lining up. Because right now, I think the number one receiver is Wan'Dale Robinson, which no disrespect to Wan'Dale Robinson, great receiver. He's just not Malik Neighbors caliber.
Yeah, he's not taking the top off the defense like Malik can.
I am, as a Cowboys fan, thank God the Cowboys played the Russell Wilson led Giants with Tracy running as the running back because this Giants team would scare me. And we do have to play them again. Hopefully our defense can figure it out a little bit more before then because even that game was close with Russell Wilson. But the Eagles, they're struggling. I think we said it in the past podcast about the tush push, and we talked about whether it should get banned or not. They did run the tush push 4 times in a row. The Eagles to get it in the end zone, and that was just like, I don't know. That was just some boring football to just tush push it 4 times and eventually get in. I think it was like from the 5-yard line or something. I think Giants, you're happy with the future that's coming up, and the Eagles, you may not. I don't know. They're gonna have to try and rebound, and we'll get
You
into
may
kind of
not
who they're playing next week. But
may not be happy with the future that's coming. I will say Jalen Hurts made more of an effort, I think, this week to target AJ Brown. I think he had a couple of misses that would have been huge plays for them, but I do want to bring up what Drew Brees said a couple weeks ago. He said the Eagles' offense is boring. He did give them credit, like they're winning games. Sure, they're winning. They're a winning football team. They're going to win games, but their offense is boring. And I think that was on display this past weekend. 4 tush pushes in a row. I mean, even I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm going to speak for them. They probably don't want to watch that.
and also like Saquon just disappeared in this game. Like he ran once in the first drive and then kind of wasn't utilized again. There was a cool. I will say I will defend Philly a little bit. There was a cool trick play they ran with Dallas Goedert to get it in the end zone where they kind of ran
Yeah.
out an option with Jalen Hurts and then he shovel passed it to Dallas Goedert. That was probably the most exciting play the Eagles have run in 2 years. So
It looked a little Mahomey.
looked a little Mahomey,
Looked
yeah.
a little like Mahomes did Kelsey, but
I did see on here you said it was a bad day for just Philly sports fan in general last Thursday. Want to kind of go through what happened for them?
I'll expand. The Philadelphia Flyers played the Florida Panthers. They lost. The Eagles obviously lost. And then, unfortunately, I feel I caught the last episode. My pick, to go deep in the playoffs and to win the World Series was the Phillies. And they
Yep.
were eliminated on that same day from the
That
playoffs.
was just a crazy elimination. The way that game ended, if anyone caught it, there was an error at home plate. Dodgers were able to walk it off in that fashion. And yeah, listen, as a Philly sports fan, that's probably one of the darkest days they've ever had. But the Giants, on the other hand, New York, probably one of the brightest. So Giants are looking like a fun team. They got a long rest, and like I said, MVPs of the game are definitely Cam Scatterboo, Jackson Dart.
Agreed.
We'll get into the next game. Starting off on the Sunday slate, we had the Broncos 13, Jets 11. This game was at 8:30, and I tell you what, if you weren't awake at 8:30, this game probably put you back to sleep or something. This was a pretty boring one. The Jets now fall to 0-6. Justin Fields was sacked 9 times. He also had 9 completions. So he was sacked the same amount of times as he had completions in this game. There was only 1 touchdown in this game. Bo Nix threw a touchdown. I think it was to their backup tight end or something. Bo Nix looked okay in this game. He went 19 for 30, 174 yards, and like I said, a touchdown. Man, these London games are tough. I know we got a good one next week, but waking up at 8:30, you got to be a real football freak to wake up and want to watch that game.
Yeah, I see you have Justin Fields' passing stat line, 9 of 17 for 45 yards. but he actually ended up with -10.
Was that based off the Was that based
The
off the
Jets team
sacks?
as a whole, yeah, because they'll count like negative yards on a sack or a TFL by a quarterback. They'll count that against your passing yards.
Yeah, there was an exciting play for the Jets. Probably the most exciting play they've had all year was a safety.
That's fun. That's why it's 11.
They had 3 field goals and a safety, so it was a weird
I mean,
score.
to their credit, like good defense. Only 13 points given up. That's good defense.
Yeah, and Broncos have now won 3 in a row. So this was a game you had to win. You won it, but it wasn't in the greatest fashion. Their defense did play, like I said, 9 sacks, so they're on an absolute tear right now. I think they're at 30 for the season, and I believe they're even leading the NFL. I think second place is a game that's going on tonight, which is Buffalo, which I think Buffalo's at like 15 or something. So I think the Broncos are still going to be leading sacks come tomorrow. That could change if Buffalo just has a crazy night of sacks, but
Yeah, they do have the league leader in sacks.
league leading.
Nick
Yeah.
Benito. He's
Nick
a dog, dude.
Bonita.
I think he's up to 8.5 now through
Pretty
6
good.
games, which is insane pace.
Moving on to the noon slate of games, we just talked about the Broncos being a hot team. You know the other hot team that's in the NFL right now? The Steelers. Yeah, both those teams have won now 3 in a row. Steelers take down the Browns 23-9. And I think it might be time to have a conversation about Dylan Gabriel. I
Come
think
on.
I don't know.
3
This
games?
Was this his third game or second game? I think this is his
Second game. We're having conversations after 2 weeks on the Browns.
Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 52 times, only completed it 29 for 221 yards.
There's no way you can ask your rookie quarterback to throw the ball 52 times, especially in his second week.
He could throw it. The Browns were trailing in this game early, but Dylan Gabriel, he must hate his receivers because he was throwing them some hospital passes across the middle. It was if I was a Browns receiver, I definitely would pull him aside after the game and say, "Hey man, what was that all about?" or something. Aaron Rodgers looked good in this game. 21 for 30, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pass rating of 115. His favorite target, DK Metcalf, had 4 receptions, 95 yards, and a tutty. And it just seems like the Steelers are running away with I don't know, bottom tier AFC North. Steelers moved to 4-1 on the season. I don't know.
They've gotten some help from Joe Burrow going down.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are in second place in the AFC North right now.
Yeah, like 2-3 or 2-4 now, maybe something.
I think 2-4 after yesterday's
I know.
games.
Yeah, the Bengals were 2-0 when Joey B went down. Pretty sure 2-4.
I think I said the Steelers are 4-1. I think they're 4-2. Let me fact check that. Because week 6.
They had a bye?
I think they did have a bye. Maybe that's what it is.
We're just casual?
Yeah, they're 4-1.
We don't look up anything. We don't look up anything before the episodes.
No, we just raw dog these episodes.
We're winging. Yeah, the Bengals are 2-4. Ravens and Browns are 1-5. So real tough division there.
And it could be the weakest division in the NFL this year. What else did you have here?
Well, yeah, I was going to bring up Mike Tomlin, little post game, little soundbite. I don't know if there's a post game. Might have been yesterday. Which would have been post game. Would have been post game. Whatever, dude. Whatever. At some point, he brought up. He was questioning why the Browns would make that trade, giving Joe Flacco away to the Bengals. You know, he did say, you know, the Browns.
For anyone that doesn't know, the Bengals just traded away Joe Flacco, or the Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals earlier in the week. I think it was like Tuesday or something. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was just for all the casual listeners.
That's good context. Yeah, I mean, the Browns did make Joe Flacco their day one starter. And so Tomlin made the point, why would, if they view this guy as their starting quarterback, even though he did get benched, but if you're going to view this guy as your starting quarterback, why would you give him away to a team that needs quarterback in the same division like the Bengals do? Obviously, I know. Yeah, for sure. Division trades are kind of rare, but I mean, Flacco's been awful this year. So I can see it from Tomlin's point of view. I can also see it from the Browns' point of view. Like, Flacco was not the guy.
He wasn't going to start any more games.
No, he's not the guy that they thought he was going to be coming into the season. He's had a plethora of turnovers. So
yeah, the Browns just need to. I don't know. I think Shore Sanders moves up to number 2 on the depth chart now. I think last week we said he played good, and this week he played bad. The next game 3 will be the deciding factor on.
Dude, there actually is kind of some talk about, is Shedeur going to be the backup, or are they going to bring up, I think it was like Bailey Zappi, maybe off the practice squad?
They keep trying to push him down, dude. Eventually,
Maybe, dude.
Shador will start a game this season.
If they trade enough quarterbacks, she's got to, right?
They had like 6 quarterbacks on their roster going into week 1, so he's slowly working his way up. We'll get Shador on the podcast to talk about it once he starts. Next game, Chargers 29, Dolphins 27. Me and Matt both picked the Chargers. And this game was close. It was it showed some fight. Dolphins, on the other hand, kind of ran out of steam towards the end of this game.
Tua turned the ball over.
Tua turned the ball over. You know, the most recent Pro Bowl quarterback for the Dolphins. Tua went 21 for 32, 205 yards, 1 touchdown, and as Matt said, 3 interceptions. I think there's some trouble in Miami. Tua, after this game, did call out just the leadership in the Miami Dolphins locker room.
He called out the leadership.
And I don't think Tua realizes he is the
leader.
leadership. He said players aren't showing up to, player meetings, and just guys aren't doing what they need to do. And it's like, Tua, it kind of just starts with you, man. So I don't know. When he went to the media and said that, I think that we talking about Philly, wheels might fall off with all the drama going on there. There's some drama going on for the Dolphins, and
it's not going to go over well, dude.
No.
I do like Tua, though. Is a guy, just as a person, a human being, like I like him. And, he led the league in passing a couple years ago.
Yeah, and I mean, Dolphins fall to 1-5. The bright spot that I did see in this game was Devon Achane with 16 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he's, there might be people not showing up to player meetings, but Devon Achane is showing up to the games, and he's lighting it up right now. And I think you don't realize how fast a running back he is until you see him on TV. Just the speed it jumps off the screen at you. He is someone that hopefully they get some help in Miami to where, because I think he could be a very good running back. They just need some help with the rest of the team and getting things figured out from a leadership perspective. Maybe they make Devon Achane a captain or something.
Maybe they did make him head coach.
I
will say there's been rumors of like Alvin for the Saints, just because they're so bad. Like Alvin Kamara maybe is a tradable guy, like Shaheed is a tradable guy, but Dolphins 1-5. Is Achane,
They could get some return.
He's
on a rookie contract still.
Is he on the trade block? I mean, I assume not, just because of how good he is. But who knows? They're 1-5. They're not going to get any better this year, probably.
Yeah.
So
Chargers, on the other hand, looked great in this game. Justin Herbert, 29 for 38, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 112. Ladd McConkey, on the other hand, finally showed up to play some football today with Quentin Johnson out with a hamstring. Ladd McConkey had 7 receptions, 100 yards, including a kind of a catch at the end to put him in field goal range and win this game. And then he also just had a touchdown on the day. So shout out Ladd McConkey. Finally showed up.
And for fantasy fans, Kimani Vidal.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you're bringing this up.
He had about, I think, almost 20 points. Maybe it was like 19, but he had a great game. Unfortunately, I picked up the other
Hassan Haskins. Yeah,
Hassan Haskins,
I did the same thing.
Who didn't do a thing, really, compared to Vidal. But
so
what a game for him.
There's a reason I also picked up Hassan Haskins instead of Vidal. I looked up their height and weight just because they both said they were going to be both starters. And I saw Hassan was 6'2" and Vidal was 5'8". I was like, oh, they're going to go with the bigger guy. And that just did not work out in my favor. I forgot, for a running back, you got to be low to the ground. I should have put the Cam Scatterboom calculator in or something.
I don't think anybody really expected that. So I did. I mean, he had one super long play. I believe it was either rush or reception, but maybe that just kind of added to.
I think if you have just the fantasy aspect, if you have any running back going against the Dolphins, you should probably they're going to be a running back 1. Doesn't matter who it is. Next game. Well, this is going to be
next game.
Here we go. Patriots 25, Saints 19. I picked the Patriots in our last week pick 'em. I think Matt picked the Saints just out of his own fandom, and he was riding high on a win. But Matt, I'll let you take it away. If you have anything for...
I do, just a little tidbit. Once again, dude, I just want to give credit to Spencer Rattler. Shout out Rex Ryan, because he came out and said that he is a Rattler fan and he should be a starting quarterback in the league. I mean, the first play of the game was I think it was over like 53 maybe yards to Olave, but they ended up settling for a field goal. I mean, that was kind of just the name of the game for the Saints, just the story. Couldn't really, get the ball in. I know, Taysom Hill had a 1-yard touchdown. Shout out to him. He's a dog. Let's utilize him more, please. Groupie, this is probably the only time I'll say this, but he was the best Saints player this week. He went 4 for 4 on field goals. But I still have faith in Rattler. He didn't have a touchdown or anything, but he did show that he will not turn the ball over once again. And he is still able to make plays with his legs. I think he had like 20 yards, 4 carries, 20 yards, something. He made some pretty impressive throws, but he just needs some more help. I know he has Olave. That's great. He had an 87-yard touchdown to Shaheed last week. That's great. He just still needs more help. And somebody who apparently has all the help in the world, Drake May, almost had 300 total yards, which is about how many yards the Saints had as a team. So that's fun. He had 3 touchdowns, and he had several, I want to say maybe 4, but one was called back for some kind of BS pass interference, offensive pass interference, which I was happy about in the moment. But again, that was a real actual play that should have been a touchdown. But I mean, he had several 30 to 40 plus yard completions. I mean, he was airing it out. Our safeties, I don't think they knew they were on the field. I thought they probably thought they were in the stands watching the game. But yeah, I mean, to Drake May's credit, again, the Saints are a bad team, obviously. Now they're 1-5. They were 1-4 when they played them. Drake May,
He's looking like a stud.
He could end up being the best quarterback in the 2024 draft. Out of that draft, he could be the best one. I know he's got stiff competition. Jaden Daniels obviously won
Williams,
rookie of the year last
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year last year, Star Wars. Yeah, Caleb Williams is taking a step up this year. He's got Bo Nix, who's good. Kind of not as good this year, but still very good. JJ McCarthy hasn't had that much play time, but he could easily be the best one in that draft. Also, I think his favorite target this past week was a former LSU standout, and it just hurt my heart because he did this in the Superdome in his home state. His home, I might be from Baton Rouge, but close enough. Kayshon Boutte, unguardable.
What a name.
5 catch, Boutte, big Boutte. 5 catches, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. What is he, Randy Moss? I mean, what are we doing? Let's guard him, dude. He hasn't done a thing like in his whole year, or his whole career. Like, it hasn't been. This is his best game by a country mile. But shout out to him. There are a lot of former LSU players in this game. But yeah,
You let me know when you're off the. I'll come in with kind of what I saw in this game.
Please.
All right. So, as someone that loves watching the roller coaster of emotions that Matt's been on this year with the Saints, this is part of the reason why I wanted to start a podcast so we could capture our emotions as we go in these games. It wasn't better we'll get into the Cowboys later. But Drake May in this game did look like a stud. Matt alluded to, almost 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 140.1. This is a step up for a second-year quarterback that we haven't seen. I think last year, was it Mac Jones last year who started for the Patriots? And then he came in.
No, it was, well, to be fair, actually, we just took the quiz. Drake May made the Pro Bowl last year.
Oh, yeah, Drake May.
As a rookie. So has he taken a step up? He's already Pro Bowl level, right?
If he did take a step up in this game, it was the Saints. And I don't mean that as like a stone's throw at you, Matt, but they just take down the Bills, and they come into this game, and if you want to stay competitive in the AFC East, like, this is a game that you have to come in and win. Unfortunately, it's against my co-host's team, the Saints. So
you love it.
I do bask in it. I do hope you guys win, but it's better for the clicks if you guys don't.
Dude, I don't. Honest to God, like, our defense hasn't looked this bad all year. Even against Josh Allen, we had an interception and a dropped interception. And Drake May made them look like JV. Like they're.
And then last week, you guys looked fantastic against the Giants.
I don't know, 5 turnovers. Dude, it seemed like every time Drake May was cocking up the throw was going to be a touchdown. I think there's one. I remember because I was in Discord with our friends Chase and Connor. It was like 3rd and 17, and I said to them, I was like, this is either going to be it's either going to be a touchdown or a sack or something like that. And it was a touchdown. On 3rd and 17, it was like a 50-yard touchdown. I was like, this is unbelievable to watch.
I like that you said that we watch these games, and we might need to set up a live stream for Matt watching a Saints game, because it is the funniest thing to just watch him get riled up. And I think even at the end of the game, like, the Saints had so many opportunities to win this game, and then they would just stall out and punt. And that just would drive me crazy.
I know we had 4 field goals, man. You can't settle 4 times for a field goal and expect to beat a good team like this.
So you're saying the Patriots are a good team?
You just beat the Bills. Just beat Just beat arguably one of the
Yeah, the Patriots are looking. They're looking
best
at. They could
teams in
be
the
a
NFL, the
dark
Saints.
horse playoff team by the time the season's said and done. They
Sure.
haven't showed me anything to think why they wouldn't be in the playoffs.
I do want to say to
They're
the
probably
Saints'
doing it as a
credit,
wild card team, but
yeah, just one little last thing. The Saints' credit, they've lost like 3 of their 5 losses have been like 1-score games. So I mean, could they be 4-2 easily? Maybe they could be
I
four
just
and
think
two. I mean, 3
this
1-score
isn't the
games
Saints'
against
year.
the Cardinals, the Niners, and the Patriots. They lost by 1 score.
I don't know,
That's
man.
something. That's promising, right?
Maybe you talking yourself back in the Saints.
No,
We'll move on to the next game. Rams 17, Ravens 3. Me and Matt both picked the Rams in this game. The Ravens were without Lamar Jackson, and they did get some of their defensive help back, but still it just wasn't enough to stop the Rams. This game was pretty much over once the Ravens tried to run their own version of the tush push with Mark Andrews. I think they ran it on second and third and goal, and then finally they took Derrick Henry and tried to run him on a 4th and goal, and he got stopped. And I think from then on, the Rams were just kind of rolling in this game. Matthew Stafford looked pretty good. I thought about starting him in my fantasy league. Didn't. Thank God I didn't, because he didn't do the best. As
dude, I
far
do
as like
want to.
NFL, what's up?
I want to say like I didn't watch the game, but just hearing they try to run the tush push on 3rd and 4th. Why
No,
wouldn't they?
they ran it 2nd down, 3rd down, and then 4th down. They gave it to Derrick Henry finally.
Really,
Yeah.
dude?
They went Mark Andrews tush push twice.
Why wouldn't they put Patrick Ricard back there? Their fullback.
Why didn't they just try and run it with Derrick Henry 3 times?
They're 300-pound fullback. Why wouldn't they try that?
We just had a TikTok clip last episode of, would you get hit by Derrick Henry for $10 million every year?
I'd probably rather get hit by Henry than Patrick Ricard.
Yeah. Well, either way, it just didn't work. And I think the Ravens, they now fall to 1-5, and it feels like 0-6 because Lamar's just been out with a hamstring. I don't know. I don't even know if he's coming back next week. You got to hope he does, but it just shows like why Lamar got paid a couple years ago is because the Ravens look like absolutely nothing without him. They need him desperately. And Cooper Rush is their backup quarterback, and he didn't look good. He went for 11-19 and 1 interception. Derrick Henry did have 24 carries for 122 yards. So I don't know.
I don't think they utilize him enough. He probably should have had 40 K.
Ravens are weird.
I know
That's
they benched
my final verdict.
They benched Cooper Rush for Tyler Huntley, right?
Yeah, Tyler Huntley did come into the game
at halftime. Obviously, it didn't make a difference because neither of those guys should be playing, but there's nothing you can do, really.
They need Lamar back desperately. I don't think I can pick the Ravens until they get Lamar back. He's a game changer, and the game doesn't change at all if he's not playing. Next game. Oh, wait, before we get into the next game, we should mention Puka did get hurt in this game. He went on, there's like an end zone pass that I don't think he ended up catching it, but he did like twist his ankle going to the ground and had to be helped off the field. He did come back to the sideline. I don't know if he came back in the game.
He did not.
But if you're just a fantasy manager, watch the Puka injury. It could linger, especially with ankles. They might, I don't know, next week they go to play the Jaguars in London. They might utilize them less than what they do. So
they did say, I think they came out and said it was day to day, but still, that doesn't mean he's playing this week.
Yeah, it did look like a crazy way for an ankle to kind of get rolled up on. Oh, it didn't look the friendliest. It isn't broken, but it's not gonna. He's not going to be 100% next week. Next game, Cardinals 27, Colts 31. There's no, we talked about, quarterbacks missing. Kyler Murray was not in this game. Cardinals quarterback. Jacoby Brissett got the start, who ended up going 27 for 44, 320 yards. Stellar day from Jacoby. 2 touchdowns, and he did have an interception. Daniel Jones, on the other hand, had 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also an interception. So this game was close at the end. Colts kind of scored. It was like late in the 4th quarter. Cardinals had a chance to win it. They tried to throw one to Trey McBride on the goal line, and there should have been probably some pass interference in it. There wasn't anything called, so that's how the game ends. But Cardinals were looking, I think early in this game, we kind of were like, oh, Cardinals were leading. They're looking great with Jacoby, and then kind of the wheels fell off, and the Colts came back to win. Matt?
Yeah, I do want to. Okay, never mind.
This was shout out Jonathan Taylor in this game. He had 21 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown. And Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end for the Colts, had 6 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Looked absolutely fantastic. If you have him on your fantasy teams, you're doing great right now. Keep starting him.
Yeah, and with how well Tyler Warner's playing, that just brings up the question of why he was the second tight end off the board in this past draft. Because I know Colston Loveland went to Chicago before Tyler Warner was picked.
Was Colston Loveland first?
He was the
on
first
the
tight
Titans?
end. He was the first tight end, which is obviously looking like not that good of a pick. I mean, maybe that Colston Loveland just fenced their scheme better, but Tyler Warner's just the better player. And he's been showing that week in and week out.
Yeah, and I think Kyler Murray being out with a foot injury. I don't know. I will say credit to the Cardinals. They didn't drop a ball at the 1 yard line this time. Every time they scored, they ran through the line, handed it to the ref. So I think the coach getting everybody made them realize they need to hold on to the ball and not worry about celebrating or something.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon might commit genocide if they do that again.
Next game.
Oh, did you see he got what did he get fined for hitting Jim Ricardo
Oh, did he?
last week? Yeah, I think he got fined like $100K or something like that.
We should have a segment which is just NFL fines from the previous week.
Like, obviously, they're both grown men. Maybe you don't hit him, but it wasn't like he punched him. He's just like, hit him on the shoulder pad. Like, what do you, like, come on. Like, let's get our head in the game. Let's not drop the ball ever unless you're handing it to the ref.
I'm trying to see if there's there is. It is public on the fines that happen every week.
Surely.
Oh, this was this week. Wait, geez, these fines are expensive.
Yes, they should be.
Trying to see here. Is there anything from this week? No. Okay, this might be a segment that we do in the future because this is actually incredible. It's like $17,000 for just like unnecessary roughness.
I know, and that doesn't really stop it.
No.
That's really nothing to them.
Next game, Seahawks 20, Jaguars 12, and Brian Thomas showed up to play football. Brian Thomas remembered that he is a great receiver, had 8 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown in the first quarter. It's actually his first receiving touchdown. And, Matt, I think you made the joke. If you would have came to me and said, Brian Thomas gets his first receiving touchdown in week 6, I would have said, you're crazy. That's what's happened. He did have a rushing touchdown in week 1, but other than that, it's been no end zone for him.
I think he finally remembered LSU's wide receiver U.
Yeah, I think I was going to start saying Ohio State was wide receiver U, and then Brian Thomas finally showed up. So
Jason and Debacle are making a really good case for that this year.
Yeah, it's great segue, Matt, because JSN was in this game and had even a better side on the other side of the ball. 8 receptions, 162 yards, and a touchdown. He might just be offensive player of the year.
I will say, I thought, this offseason DK got traded to the Steelers. I thought, what do we, I know Jason was good, but we're trading away DK, who's just a certified stud. But they knew more than I did. They knew more than everybody else did, and they knew how good Jason could be.
It seemed like the Seahawks were kind of just blowing up the team, letting Geno go and let DK go, and then they bring in Sam Darnold, and then they just keep JSN around as wide receiver 1, and it's working out well for them. They moved to 4-2 on the season, and the NFC West might be the most competitive division out there in the NFL right now.
I'd get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, the 49ers are 4-2, which we'll get into kind of some of the injuries they faced in this last game. And Seattle's 4-2, the Rams are 4-2, and then the Cardinals are alone at 2-4. And the Cardinals, they're going to be good once Kyler Murray comes back. They're kind of figuring it out. I'll say Sam Darnold also looked great in this game. We talk about JSN having all those yards. It had to be someone that threw him the ball. Sam Darnold's looking like himself from Minnesota. I think that year Minnesota has changed Sam Darnold forever. I think he's going to be a good quarterback now. 16 for 27, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pass rating of 121. Low. This is still the same Sam Darnold that was drafted by the Jets and was kind of out and
was seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
He was seeing ghosts in New York. Turns out all he needed was a good wide receiver.
Yeah, and an offensive coordinator to turn him around, and Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota.
I do see the score was the Jaguars had 12. Trevor Lawrence had 2 touchdowns. Did they miss both extra points?
I think they missed the first extra point on Brian Thomas's touchdown, and then I think they might have gone for 2 on the second one. Yeah, they did go for 2 on the second one.
That's just an ugly score.
Yeah, you would have thought they kicked like 4 field goals or something.
Yeah.
All right, next game, probably where most of the people are going to skip to in this episode after the Saints. Matt, we both picked the Cowboys. Cowboys 27, Panthers 30. Listen, the Dallas fans were worried about Micah Parsons' revenge against the Cowboys. I don't think anyone had it on their radar that Rico Dowdle was coming to get his revenge. 30 carries, 239 yards for scrimmage, and a touchdown. Those yards from scrimmage is the most by player in the first game versus their former team in NFL history.
That's fun.
Rico Dowdle is a dominant force, and if you're like me and you have Chuba Hubbard on your fantasy team, you don't know who you're going to start next week. I'm absolutely terrified. Bryce Young.
I don't think Carolina knows who they're going to start next week.
Carolina, they're probably just going to split the backfield. Bryce Young looked dominant. 17 for 25, 199 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He did have an interception. And then Dak Prescott. I don't think this game's on Dak Prescott. I think if you put up 27, you should win most games, but our defense just isn't there. Dak Prescott went 25 for 34, 261 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And his favorite receiver, George Pickens, 9 receptions, 168 yards, and a touchdown. George Pickens is looking like the best rent 1-year contract guy that you could ever get. He's looking like a wide receiver 1 right now. I think last week I said, as a Cowboys fan, don't get too high on beating the Jets, and this is the reason why. Our defense isn't good. Our defense can't stop anything. The Panthers hung 30 on us. Don't get me wrong, it was a motivated Panthers team, but still, you should be able to stop them a little bit.
Bryce Young was looking like the first overall pick.
Yeah, Bryce Young, I've had some takes on him. He looked great in that game. I really think it's just Rico Dowdle. I didn't realize how dominant of a run game Carolina had. And it might just be because it was against the Cowboys, but Rico Dowdle, he had 200-something yards last week, and then he turned it around and has another 200-something yards this week.
Yeah, I had to look it up real quick. He is now 3rd in rushing yards in the league.
After 2 games, it's insane.
2 games, pretty much. I know he's played like every game, but he's had
nowhere
near, he was a
30
backup.
and 40 yards those games. These last games, each of them going over 200. Well, I guess this week it was like 185, and then he had 50 yards or something receiving, but still, anytime a running back hits over 200 yards, it's incredible stuff. Rico Dowdle would have been my Brodie of the week this week had I not picked him last week. I guess maybe next week I'm picking him again. I will say the Carolina final drive of this game was 76 yards and just ate up 6 minutes of clock. The Cowboys didn't see the ball again, and they were able to win it on a walk-off field goal. I don't know. I think this is just going to be the Cowboys. I talk about the Saints being a roller coaster. The Cowboys are going to be a roller coaster. This is why you can't get too high, can't get too low. The offense is looking great. The defense just needs to be mid. Please. If we can just be a middle-of-the-pack defense, we'll be a playoff team. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're looking good.
I think the division, I was going to say the division might be winnable, but maybe not anymore. And the Eagles have struggled. As of late. Commanders get Jaden Daniels. They've had him back last week. They get him back this week, obviously. Now Jackson Dot.
Yeah.
Jackson Fart, just showing how good he is, huh? Maybe the Giants, considering a couple wins in a row, and the Cowboys are last place. Who knows?
It's not looking good. But I have faith in our offense. Our offense is going to continue to be great. It's just the defense where we're just going to continue to have these question marks. It would have been nice to have a pass rusher in this game that maybe could have stopped Bryce Young. Also, apparently we traded for run defense, and that didn't seem to help us at all.
Yeah,
Rico Dowdle was
where's Kenny Clark at?
Yeah, where's this run defense that we apparently traded for?
Where's Kenny Clark at, bro?
I imagine Jerry was at this game. Did you see? Also, I don't think we mentioned it last week. Did you see Jerry flipping off the fans last week?
Dude.
And he was trying to say it was a thumbs up to Cowboys fans. I was like, Jerry, we can clearly see on the video that you were flipping off Jets fans. I don't know.
I'd do that too, bro.
It's the drama that continues to be the Dallas Cowboys. It's tough sled as a fan for them, but we'll see. Maybe we can turn around. I don't know who we have next week. We'll get into the preview. We have the Commanders next week. That should be fun. We'll get into that in our picks and our previews coming up next. But before we get to that, we got to talk about the afternoon games. We'll start off with the Titans 10, Raiders 20. Matt, you picked the Titans last week. What was maybe one of those reasons on why you picked the Titans? You had faith in them?
I mean, yeah, Geno Smith has been awful. Maybe Cam Ward was going to...
I'll say Geno Smith was still
step up.
Awful in this game.
Okay, but maybe he's going to take a little step up. Who knows? I don't know. Just try to be different, I guess, for me. We don't want to pick the same team every time. Unfortunately, this went wrong for me.
Yeah, I will say the Cam Ward had 2 fumbles and an interception in this game. It's tough as a rookie quarterback. It was also the last drive of the game. They had a chance. They were kind of driving. It was still like a 10-point game. They were driving, and as he's going to, make a pass, he's patting the ball, and he pats the ball right out of his hand and fumbles it, and that's how the game ends. It's a tough look, and Turns out it got his coach fired. Titans, we just heard today, Titans fired their head coach, Brian Callahan, after 6 games into the season, starting 1-5. And this is only his second season as the head coach. I think it might be a little premature of a firing, but his record overall with the Titans is 4-19. And it's just not looking like the Titans season. I got to imagine the ownership just didn't like what they were seeing out of him, because 2 seasons is a very quick leash to just go ahead and fire your head coach. Normally, I don't know, Dan Campbell, the Lions didn't look the best the first couple seasons he had him, and then year 3 turned them around. Normally, you got to wait for the coaches to get their guys in there, but Titans decided they've had enough. And, really, the biggest player for the Raiders in this was their defense, was causing all those turnovers and getting the ball back for Geno and Ashton Genty. But like I said, Geno didn't have the hottest game either. So this was kind of a game that I had it on just because I had Tony Pollard on my fantasy team, but I wasn't really watching this. I was watching the other afternoon games. What's that little fun fact you have in here, Matt?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're expected to name Mike McCoy their interim head coach.
Okay.
I think he's a senior offensive assistant or something like that, which is usually how it goes. I think teams usually hire, one of the coordinators, OC,
Yeah, they bring him in as
DC,
like
whatever,
the intern.
But, yeah, interim. But yeah, the last 3 number 1 overall picks have all had their coach fired during the season.
So for context, everyone listening, that means that's Caleb Williams, who was number 1 pick last year. They fired Eberflus. Who was the other one? We just did this game earlier of who was of the last 3 number 1 picks.
I think it's including Cam Ward. So it'd be Cam Ward.
Cam Ward.
Caleb Williams.
Or was it Trevor Lawrence, right?
No, Bryce.
Oh, Bryce Young. Yep. Okay. Yeah, because Trevor Lawrence had, who was it? It was, who's the Ohio State guy that I'm blanking on? Myers?
Urban Meyer. Yeah.
Urban Meyer. Yeah. Urban Meyer. So
that was fun. It was a fun little experiment.
Yeah. So I don't know. Titans, we'll see if they can turn around with the intern. They needed to shake things up, and looks like they're shaking things up in a big way, getting rid of their head coach. But Raiders, I'm not too high on as the Raiders. Next game, Niners 19, Buccaneers 30. You know what team I am high on is the Buccaneers. You know who else I'm high on? Baker Mayfield. MVP caliber season. He continued in this game. 256 yards, 2 tutties, and a passer rating of 139. But I don't know if he was the best quarterback in this game. Maybe in a touchdown standpoint. But Mac Jones, 27 for 39, 347 yards passing. Yeah, you heard that right. That's now back-to-back games of over 300 yards passing for Mac Jones. Unfortunately, he did have 2 interceptions, so that's the reason I'm going to keep Baker Mayfield as my best quarterback of the game. But Mac Jones, is he taking the starting position from Brock Purdy once he comes back? Is there going to be a quarterback controversy with Kyle Shanahan? I don't know. Fred Warner, linebacker for San Francisco, did leave this game with an ankle injury, and it was a gruesome one. It is going to require season-ending injury. Oh my God.
Get it out.
Season-ending surgery for Fred Warner. Fortunately, that sucks for the 49ers. They've been kind of injury-plagued all season.
Yeah, and Fred Warner's just...
I was going to say, I don't know who's been more injury-plagued. It's either the Ravens or the 49ers, just with, I don't know.
The Ravens, just by, their starting quarterback being out.
The 49ers starting quarterback's out, too.
Yeah, but it's... Didn't
Are
seem
you
like
saying
they're
Lamar
missing
Jackson's better than Brock Purdy?
I think maybe a little bit. It doesn't seem like the 49ers are missing Brock Purdy that much.
I could see that.
But they're going to miss Fred Warner. I'll tell you that. Top 3, probably arguably the best interior linebacker in the league.
Easily.
Year in and year out. I don't say easily. Tomorrow Davis is still up. But no, dude, he's incredible. He's the heartbeat of that defense. He's the soul of it.
Obviously, some of the coolest hair on the field.
He's a dog. You're not going to be able to replace him. It's going to be tough, man. You're losing him. You lost Nick Bosa earlier this season. You lost your 2 best defensive players. And I was going to say you're out your 2 best offensive players, arguably, George Kittle and Ayuk, but I think Kittle might be set to come back next week.
And surprisingly, Christian McCaffrey's still standing.
All right. They aren't their 2 best, right? You got McCaffrey, you got Trent Williams, but...
No, I'm just saying, just from an injury standpoint, like normally it's McCaffrey goes down.
Yeah,
but
it's fair.
It's been everyone else except McCaffrey. Like he's the last piece standing.
In that meme?
I know. I'm going to have to put this up on somewhere so people know.
Seems he is shucking the life out of his whole team just to stay healthy.
Oh yeah, I saw the one where it's like they're sacrificing players to keep CMC healthy, but
that's a little darker, dude.
Listen, it's just a meme that was going around. All right, we
It's
don't
no, it's
agree with
very
that.
ironic, honestly. I mean, I know Nick Bosa has been injury prone in his career, but Fred Warner
Yeah.
hasn't.
Speaking of jinxing injuries, Matt, do you want to talk about Emeka Ibuka, what you did to him by saying he was going to be Offensive Player of the Year? I saw in our comments on TikTok, someone came on there and said you cursed him.
My God, did I?
Anything about those allegations?
Oh my God, maybe I did. Dude, he's on my team. Obviously, I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to curse, right? Maybe inadvertently cursed.
you jinxed him.
I he's got that, went out with a hamstring injury. He has to go. Got a notification from my NFL insider
Oh, the
information,
scoop.
the scoop. Yeah, he's gonna undergo, tests and stuff to see how long he's gonna be out. But that means he is gonna be out. So that doesn't mean
Yeah,
he's coming back this week. He's not gonna come back this week. And that means Baker Mayfield is gonna be out. Mike Evans, probably Chris Godwin again. He's gonna be out. Ibuka, obviously, and then
Bucky Irving.
I hate Buck Everett, yeah, but it's just another receiver. They're fourth. His top 4 receivers
When
from
is
last
Mike
year.
Evans
Yes.
coming back? As someone that has him on my fantasy team, I just don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to hit 1,000 yards this season.
It's probably not, but that's not his fault. I will say, like, Ibuka might be out with the same injury that Mike Evans has. I think Mike Evans has a strained hamstring,
Yeah.
hamstring strain. So the amount of time that he has missed does not bode well for Ibuka. Hopefully, it's not that serious. Just for just him as a person, I don't want to see any player get injured. But he's on my fantasy team. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want him out.
The NFL doesn't care about fantasy.
I know. I just hope he gets back.
I will
Prayers
say
up.
just on the hamstring, that's normally an injury that's going to linger. Hopefully not all season, but if you think about as a wide receiver and running down the field constantly, like you're always sprinting, maybe on like a street route, especially the way Ibuka runs down the field, he's so quick. He's almost too fast for his own good. It's going to be an injury that's going to linger at least for 2 to 4 weeks. So the usage is definitely going to drop if he
4 weeks.
does
What are you, a
come back.
doctor?
Now, it's just kind of what you see with hamstring. As
These are
someone
4
that is
weeks. Tell that to Mike Evans, dude.
as someone that's pulled their own hamstring, it takes a while to come back.
Tell that to
right?
Mike Evans, dude. It's been more than. It's probably actually been.
These
4
guys are
weeks.
even more of a freak athlete than I am. So
Okay,
I'm not
buddy.
even. I'm not
Let's
a freak
settle
athlete.
down.
I'm just a runner. Okay.
I was gonna to lighten the mood a little bit. I was gonna bring up something funny that happened with Tez Johnson, wide receiver for the
Okay.
Bucs, that they caught a touchdown. They played it. They played in Tampa Bay, and so they apparently when he caught the touchdown, the crowd was chanting MVP,
Oh yeah, I did see this.
and then he was like, I guess they thought they were chanting for him, and he was like, they was chanting MVP. I didn't do nothing this year. And then Sterling Shepard, another receiver for the Bucs, had to tell him they talking about Baker, Tez, which I thought was so funny.
Yeah, and it looks like Tez Johnson's going to be getting a lot of use coming in the future. Yeah,
I mean,
so
yeah,
maybe
him
they will be
Sterling
chanting MVP
Shepard.
for him.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard has some
That's somewhat.
chemistry. That's the word. He's already got some chemistry with Baker. So
Here we go.
hopefully they can both step up.
Yeah, Buccaneers still looking like a wagon, even with all the receivers going down. They moved to 5-1 in the division in the NFC South, and like I said last episode, they're not really looking to win the division. They're looking for brighter pastures in the playoffs. We'll see. Hopefully, they get their receivers back. Once they get the receivers back, they're going to be a scary team.
Okay, I was right. To bring it back to what I just said, they have chemistry because they played at OU together. Baker and Sterling Shepard.
Oh, I did not think about that. That's a good little. I might pick up Sterling in my fantasy league then.
Maybe.
Same one that I'm in with you. If anyone's listening from the fantasy league, I'm not going to do that. Don't claim them. I'm definitely not going to have waiver wire priority after my.
No, not after scoring 300 points.
Yeah, after I dominated the fantasy football this week. That might be something we talk about after the show, but I'm very excited about fantasy football right now. Someone that may not be excited, though, next game, Bengals 18, Packers 27. This was Joe Flacco's first start, and full disclosure, in the show notes I had put for the next preview that it was going to be Joe Flacco's start next week. No, they just threw him in there this week. They said, you beat the Packers once with the Browns, come on, you can win it with the Bengals. As we talked about in the beginning of the show, or as the beginning of our, recap? The Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals on Tuesday and started him against the Packers. Joe Flacco looked as good as a quarterback could in not even a full week with the team. He went 29 for 45, 219 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's 40-something years. Is he 40?
I think maybe 41.
I think you're right. I think he's definitely.
Don't quote me on that, but.
Yeah, he's exactly 40 years old, 1985.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of easy to look pretty good when you got Jamar Chase, but Jake Browning didn't look good, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Jamar
maybe
Chase.
makes it
Jamar
easier.
Chase. This is we keep coming back to fantasy football, but if you're a fantasy football owner and you had the first overall pick and you took Jamar Chase, you are so happy Joe Flacco is throwing him the ball now.
I was
Had
very
10
happy.
receptions, 94 yards, and a touchdown. Your season might be actually saved in fantasy football. Jordan Love, on the other hand, the Packers carried him in this game. He did have a touchdown, did have an interception. Josh Jacobs, on the other hand, had 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Matthew Golden also showed up to play this game. 3 receptions, 86 yards. I think the score would let you believe this game was closer than it was. The Packers kind of were scoring almost at will, and we're moving it. The Bengals didn't really, I don't think they expected to win this game. Me and Matt definitely didn't expect to win this game. We both took the Packers in this one, but I don't know. Bengals might just be on the next season, but at least you got Joe Flacco. It's going to make things fun.
At least fantasy-wise, yeah.
Next game, Sunday Night Football. This was a good one. This was a good game, at least early. Lions 17, Chiefs 30, and I will finally admit it. I will admit it. The Chiefs have some voodoo going on, something with the refs, whatever it is. If you're watching this game, which I think everybody probably was watching this game, this was a great game. The Lions were driving down on their first drive. They get down to like 1st and goal, 2nd and goal. They run it a couple times, don't get anything. It's 4th and goal. They run this beautiful play where Jared Goff comes in behind center, moves from behind center out to the receiver realm, and the ball snapped to David Montgomery, who then throws one to Jared Goff. And I don't know how he caught this ball, but if you watched it, it was an amazing catch that the defender probably helped him on. He caught it and fell into the end zone, and then it gets called back and says it was an illegal motion and that Jared Goff didn't get set as a receiver. That's the first time I've heard that rule. I know about, I guess he has to get set to establish himself, but like I've seen the Dolphins run so many times with Tyreek Hill going in motion and they just get him going as fast as he can. Object in motion wants to stay in motion, just let him streak down the field with a running start.
I think that's because he's already
I think it's because he's
at a receiver position and he's set and then he moves.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're like behind the center and then you move to like a wide receiver tight end position outside of the line, outside of the O-line, maybe it's different there. I don't know, it's tough, dude.
Yeah. The Lions, they look good. I don't know. The Jared Goff had 2 touchdowns. Jameson Williams had 66 yards and a touchdown, and probably one of the most outlandish celebrations that you could have on Sunday Night Football. Like there's kids watching, and he's over here. I don't know what that motion was, but he was doing something heinous. All right.
What's he dipping, dude? What's he doing?
I'll put it up on screen probably if I could find it, but it was
humping the ground.
No, he's just
I think he's done that before, actually.
He's like he was smacking ass in the club. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
This. It's a family-friendly podcast, brother.
Yeah, it's not a family-friendly podcast. This is
You're damn right it's not.
Yeah. But it was just I thought that was one of the funniest parts of the game. Patrick Mahomes is go ahead and do it, Matt. Go ahead and do it, Matt. He's looking what?
A little Mahomie.
He's looking Mahomie. Patrick Mahomes had an absolute game. Yeah, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, a passer rating of 132.2.
And a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he was spreading the ball around. Travis Kelce also showed up in this game looking like his old self. A little slower, but still looking like his old self. I think maybe he was listening to the new Taylor Swift album that dropped.
Could have been. Pretty gas.
Could have been.
Hollywood Brown showed up.
Hollywood Brown had 2 touchdowns in this game. It was overall the Chiefs. Chiefs are the Chiefs. I don't know what else you want me to say. There's not much you can say. People write them off, and then they just come back and do this. And don't get me wrong, this is a Lions team that was injury plagued in the secondary, and the defense. But you would have still thought it would have been more of a fight. But this game kind of got out of hand after the second half.
Yeah, I think people just love to see because Mahomes has had so much success already in his career. People just kind of love to hate, and they love to say, "Oh, Mahomes has fallen off. The Chiefs have fallen off." Coming in this game, they were 2-3. The Lions might just roll them. No, I mean they're the Chiefs. He's Mahomes. He's top 5 quarterback all time, probably already. But
I will say
the best. He's still the best quarterback in the league. I will say
it was unfortunate we didn't get to talk about the Monday night game of last week when they lost to the Jaguars, and probably one of the craziest just game-winning plays you've ever seen with Trevor Lawrence falling down. But then people started kind of clowning the Chiefs, and we didn't get to talk about them at all last week. But anytime we do get to talk about them, I think they win. So maybe we're the good luck for the Chiefs or something if they're on the podcast. The one crazy thing that came after this game was just if you turned it off after the final whistle blew, fine, good to you. But you missed a fight. I don't know if Matt, you said you probably can't call it much of a fight, but Brian Branch, DB for the Lions, slapped Juju Smith-Schuster after the game, and there was just a whole brawl that broke out after.
Not only is he a DB for the Lions, he's one of the best safeties in the league already.
Yeah. And he's had a history of getting into some altercations on the team or on just in the NFL. He's someone that's going to wear his emotions on his sleeve. And Dan Campbell had to come out after the game and say, it's completely unacceptable. We're going to have to handle this.
I think he wore his emotions on Juju's face mask.
Yeah, he got Juju pretty good. I tell you what, if you're going to get in a fight, at least it's always tough to fight in the NFL because everyone's in pads. Almost the same thing in hockey.
I mean, I rewatched the clip today. The worst part is Juju sticks out his hand to dap him up, shake his hand, whatever, after the game's over. And then Brian Branch just slaps him in the face mask.
Yeah.
And I said, before I got the notification, I said he's probably going to be suspended next week just for being a dumbass. And he is. He's going to be suspended for next week's game. He's probably going to get fined. Dan Campbell's going to rip him a new one, surely, with how passionate he is and how he probably doesn't let little dumb things like that slide.
Yeah, maybe next week we start the fine segment and we'll recap what his fine ended up being.
Should we guess?
Oh, it's got to be, because I'm looking on here right now just to give you, Trayvon Diggs got unnecessary roughness and it was $12,000.
I think this is worse than that.
This is way worse than that. They're on national television.
After the whistle, there's no reason for that. There's nothing it's not like JJ pushed or Juju pushed him or.
Apparently, it was something that happened in the game, and
he
thought he was trying to get at him or something.
And what? Final whistle blew. It's done. Go to the locker room, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Could we say 100,000?
I think that might be. I mean, Jonathan Gannon just got fined for hitting DeMarcado. He got fined $100K.
Yeah, I wish I could know what the coaches get fined.
I don't think it's going to be that high because coaches is probably going to get fined more because they're held to a higher standard. I want to say 50.
Okay, I'm going to say 100 just because it was on a Sunday night football game and it's so many eyeballs were on it.
They're trying to make an example out of them?
Yeah, they're going to try and make an example out of them.
Yeah.
But with that, there's Monday Night Football on tonight. I'm pretty sure on the pick'em last week, I'm winning after this week, but it could all change after Monday Night Football. We both picked the Bills against the Falcons, but then I picked the Bears and Matt picked the Commanders. So we'll keep track. We're still.
Even if the Commanders win, I think it'll still be up one. Maybe. I don't know how much I was up after last week.
You were up 1 last week.
Okay, so if
Commanders win, I could be up 1 or.
Might be up 2 now.
I might be up 2.
So if Commanders win, you'll be at 1.
And we're still coming up with
standings.
Punishment ideas. We're only in week 6 of the NFL right now. So as we get closer to what was that? As we get closer, if anyone's listening just on the audio, that was Matt opening a Coke. Professional podcasters. But
Diet Coke Lime, shout out, new sponsor. Just kidding. Please don't sue me.
We're coming up with punishment ideas for the pick'em, and we're gonna have you guys vote on it once we get some good ideas. We have a couple that we've thrown out there, and we're just trying to see what we can make fair between both of us. That it's not like something that someone can do and someone can't. So we'll see, but we will come back and we will preview week 7 of the NFL. We're back to preview week 7 of the NFL, and we're gonna start off with the pick'em. Matt, are you going to keep track of this as we're going, or do I have to keep track of this?
What was your job?
It might be my job. Let me do
it. Doesn't matter. I can do it. I don't care.
I mean, listen, if you want,
if it takes that much out of you, take that.
I have 2 screens up, so I'm just making sure because I'm also going to do the Matt guessing the spread since he did such a stellar job last time. We're starting off with Thursday Night Football. Steelers at the Bengals, and this is what I thought was going to be Joe Flacco's first start, but I don't know. I think I have to go with the Steelers. I just said they were one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, so that's who I'm rolling with. Matt?
Yes, sir.
Who do you got?
Give me the steel curtain, baby.
Matt, would you like to guess the spread on this game?
Spread Steelers minus 5.5.
What'd you say?
5.5.
5.5 is perfect. You're incredible at this. It might be a hidden talent. You might need to work for Vegas.
Who says I'm not? Who says I don't?
Next game, we do have an 8:30 game on Sunday. Set your alarms. So this one will actually probably be better than Jets Broncos last week. This is Rams at the Jaguars. It is a home game for the Jaguars. 4-2 teams going at it. I already know who I'm taking. Brian Thomas is back, and he's playing football at a high level. Let's put 2 weeks back to back. I need him to actually play well. So I'm going to take the Jaguars. I also think Puka's not going to be the same Puka we've seen in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jags as well.
Jags as well.
With Puka's uncertainty, it'd be Jags -1.5.
You're actually wrong. It is the Rams favored 2.5.
Yeah, okay. Surprising.
Next game. I guess we're going to go just here. The order of what I have on the sheet and what it is here is not right, but whatever. It's Saints at the Bears.
Shit.
And I think I've just been a Saints hater this whole year. So I'm going to go Bears. Duh, Bears.
Mike Ditka. The Mike Ditka Bowl.
And he played for the Saints?
Former Bears tight end and former Saints head coach.
Oh, I didn't know he was the head coach of the Saints. It's funny.
Yeah. You know Ricky Jackson? Is it Ricky
Sounds
Jackson?
familiar.
Who's Ricky Williams?
Ricky Williams?
Yeah. He's the one that infamously traded the entire Saints draft to get the number 1 overall pick for Ricky Williams. Traded every pick the Saints had in that draft.
Set you guys up for great success.
Yep. That's probably why he's not head coach anymore. Also because he's probably 90.
Okay, but who are you taking in the Saints-Bears game?
Saints, brother. Why you ask me to? Bears -2.5.
Bears 4.5.
That's higher than the Patriots spread? Patriots better than the Bears?
Is not higher than the Patriots spread. Oh, are you talking for the
last
Saints?
week.
Oh, I think you're talking about this
Last
week.
week.
Oh, there's a hint at the next game. Next game, Dolphins at the Browns. This is just a disgusting game. Battle of the 1 and 5s, bro. I don't know. I'm going to take the Dolphins, I guess. This is not a fun pick.
I mean, after seeing what Rico Dowdle did to Dolphins last week.
Quinshon Judkins is about to do the same thing.
Maybe.
I could easily talk myself into either of these teams.
I don't want to take the Browns, but I don't want every pick to be the same, obviously.
Well, listen, I'm also high on the Browns. I will also take the Browns.
I'm good. I mean,
you take who you want.
But HN's so good. Give me Browns, dude. Whatever.
These teams are both 1 and 5. I don't.
Myles Garrett, Grant Delpit.
This will be a game that we probably skip over next week.
Spread Dolphins -0.5 point.
Nope. Browns are favored.
Really?
2.5.
That's gross. Probably the only time that'll happen this year.
Next game, Patriots at the Titans. The Titans with their new head coach, and the Patriots who just seem like they're rolling. I think I speak for both of us. I'll make it easy. We're both going Patriots. Matt, go ahead and guess the spread.
Patriots -8.5.
No, it's 6.5.
Okay.
Are you just only going to get one of these right? Well, you say you're high.
I don't know. I've been low. I've been low the past 2 times.
It's the same thing. Last week you got the first one right, and then I think you just missed all of them. So you always get like the Thursday Night Football or something. Where was I? Next game. All right, Raiders at the Chiefs. I think I'll also speak for this one. Yeah, we're both going Chiefs.
But also, I mean, for the spread, like division game, Raiders coming off a win, Chiefs -5.5.
It's way higher than that.
12.5?
You're so far off. I'll let you have another guess.
13.5.
12.5. You're all over the place.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What did I say? 5.5?
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Maybe Vegas just fired you.
That's wild.
Next game, Eagles at the Vikings. Now this one, is JJ McCarthy back?
Does it matter?
Not really.
Maybe. Eagles are.
There's no way the Eagles. There's no way the Eagles lose 3 in a row, right?
Jay Jettas?
It is Jay Jettas. It is a good Vikings defense. I don't know. I'm in between on this game. And
fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Are you taking the Eagles? I really want the Eagles to win because I have A.J. Brown on my fantasy team and Saquon. But I got to bet with my heart here. It's at a home game for the Vikings. I know a couple Vikings fans. I'll take the Vikings. So let me put that.
Eagles -4.5, dude.
The spread is shorter than that.
Well, that's gross. How am I supposed to know that? It's the Eagles.
I know. It's Eagles 1.5.
That's insane.
It's a close game.
It's not going to be.
Next game, Panthers at the Jets, and I'm going to take the Panthers. I just think the Jets.
Panthers. After what I just witnessed, there's no way I can pick the Jets.
If Rico Dowdle is starting this game, it's going to be Panthers all day. If it's Chuba, this might be the Jets' first win. Although I like Chuba, but Rico Dowdle has been rolling for him. Next game, Giants at the Broncos. Now these are two
Panthers -4.5.
Yeah. Panthers -1.5. Yeah. I don't think you're going to get another
1.5?
1.5 for the Panthers.
For a team that don't they have 3 wins? Or are they 2 and 3? Or are they 3 and 3?
Wait. Yeah, 3-3.
Against the 0-6 team, the spread's 1.5.
Yes,
I'm
don't know.
hammering that all day.
Yeah, we're not liable for any bets that don't hit. The bets. Next game. This is the first one of the afternoon slate. Colts at the Chargers, and I think I'm gonna roll with Danny Dime and the Colts. This is a fun game, though.
Give me both.
Sorry,
Go
I just
Chargers, boy.
assumed.
Lad the
Okay.
dad. Laddie daddy.
I would like to see Lad go crazy. What do you think the
Chargers.
spread is?
Chargers minus 2.5.
Chargers minus 1.5. This might be the most I've been against the spread. The
Yeah,
next
good
game,
cut.
Giants at the Broncos. This is two young teams. I'm taking the Broncos, even though I like Cam. I like Jackson Dart. I just think the Denver's defense is too stout. Like I said, they're leading the league in sacks. They're going to get after Jackson Dart. I think this will be a great true test of Jackson Dart as a starting quarterback. This is going to be probably the most intricate defense he's seen all season easily, and probably will see. You can't spell that.
Don't look it up.
What are you taking in this game? Who are you taking?
I'm gonna go Giants, dude.
Taking Giants. Okay.
You go Broncos minus 3.5.
More.
I don't know. I got it wrong. Whatever. 6.5.
6.5. Nailed it.
Wow, I'm so good. Look at me.
Finally. Next game, Packers at the Cardinals. And I don't know if Kyler Murray's back for this one.
I don't care. Go Pack, go.
I'm with you. Let's go, Packs.
Give me Pack. They're gonna pack them up. Minus
He's stalling.
5.5.
Close 6.5.
I was gonna go 6.5, dude. I swear.
Next game, Commanders at the Cowboys. And I got to roll with my boys. Hopefully our offense just will score more points to them. That's the secret to football. But it does suck because we won't know the Commanders, like how they did on Monday night after this podcast. So kind of just picking blind. I'm honestly just praying at this point the Cowboys beat the Commanders, but it probably won't happen. Who are you taking, Matt?
Give me Commanders. I don't even know I've been right on who's been favored every game, but honestly, I don't even know who's going to be favored in this game. The Commanders, maybe by like 1.5.
Commanders 2.5.
All right, bro.
All right, Sunday Night Football, Falcons.
Breaking news. I'm just kidding. Tyler, Monday night game, Falcons Bills. Tyler Algier just scored.
That's not breaking news.
20. It is for Falcons fans. Who knows the last time that guy scored?
All right, next game, Sunday Night Football, Falcons at the 49ers. And this is another game that we won't really know kind of how it goes for the Falcons on Monday Night Football. But Tyler Algier just scored, so I'm going to take the Falcons in this one.
You just hear yourself?
Well, it was just you just broke news to tell me Tyler Algier scored a 20-yard touchdown. I feel like that was a sign from you telling me to take the Falcons.
That's breaking news for him, dude. Yeah, give me
Matt.
Niners minus 3.5.
Nailed it.
Yes. 2 for 20. Good job.
All right, Monday Night Football. This is a game I'm very excited about here. This first game of Monday Night Football in Detroit. Buccaneers at the Lions. Man, I'm so high on Baker. How could you not go to Baker here? He has a good history in that stadium, pulling out a win. I'm going to go Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield.
You going to let Baker bake, dude?
I'm going to let Baker bake.
Yeah, give me Bucks. I'm going to set aside my disdain
for
the NFC South.
What do you think? What do you think the spread is?
It's got to be Bucks by like, what?
Detroit is favored 4.5.
Brother, are you sure?
I'm looking at it right now.
That's got to change this week. Dude.
All right, and final game of Monday Night Football. This game's crazy because it's at like 9 p.m. Ooh, gonna be up late on Monday when we record actually, we probably won't. We'll get into that in the next probably closing segment, but we probably won't be recorded on Monday. We probably actually will know the score of these games. I'm gonna take the Seahawks, who are just rolling right. Oh, sorry, it's Texans at Seahawks at 9 p.m. I'm gonna take the Seahawks. They are rolling.
I'm going to go Seahawks.
All right. And so that is going to be our Week 7 preview. And I guess next we'll get into our college football recap, preview, everything that's going on in college football because it's been crazy. All right. We're back to recap college football Week 7. And I think we should start off with the biggest news that came out probably in the last couple of days. Penn State lost to Northwestern 21-22, and their head coach, James Franklin, is officially out of a job. I did see he's getting paid, it's like $48 million was his buyout. But after 3 back-to-back upsets where Penn State was favored, they lose, and he was truly on the hot seat. He's gone after losing to Oregon, winless UCLA, and now Northwestern.
Yeah, Northwestern FCS team, losing by 1. To be fair, I mean, Drew Aller did go out in that game. He's out for the season, actually. But still, that's like probably the biggest win in FCS history.
Yeah,
beating a ranked Penn State team.
Well, they weren't ranked this week. They were like number 3 to start, but I think they fell out of the rankings after last week. Either way, it was a Penn State team that had high expectations for the season, and then they've just absolutely fallen out. My question is, who do they bring in next? Like, who's the coach that's going to come in and replace him? That program's about to go through some crazy changes. I saw people throwing out Jimbo Fisher, which would be pretty crazy. Someone that's been away from the game for a little bit. I don't know who's going to be taking over the interim. Penn State had high expectations this year, and he just kind of fall out. James Franklin, I thought at least they would wait till after the season, but turns out he was always this close to getting fired. There was always like a joke during his stint there that he couldn't win the big one, and I think that was very you could
Can't
you could
can't
you
even
could
win the
see it.
little ones either.
Can't even win the little one. So
Yeah, this might be the biggest like disaster for one of the preseason CFB favorites in history.
favorites, yeah.
I mean, they were number 2. They were ranked number 2 this preseason going into this year, and now 2 months later they're 3-3 unranked.
And
Fired their head coach.
without a head coach.
Fired their head coach. Lost their starting quarterback.
That is the quickest turnaround. That's how college football can change in a heartbeat. One minute you think you're going, probably the beginning of the season, you think you're going to the Natty, and then halfway through you're like, can the season be over? Can we get on to next season? We're done. So we'll see if they get it turned around. Just other games that happened, 11 a.m. games. Number 1, Ohio State beats down number 17, Illinois, 34-16. Illinois really never had a chance in this game. I still don't get how Illinois is ranked, but they probably won't be anymore. Let me see here. Yeah, they're not ranked anymore. So they're going to fall out of the rankings. I will say Ohio State's defense is elite. It is a NFL level defense on some of the schemes. I saw kind of the stories they were doing on it on this Saturday kickoff, or was it what am I thinking of? College game day Saturday, whatever it is. But they were just kind of going through some of the schemes that Ohio State runs where they're able to run zone and man on different sides of the field. They do have their defensive coordinator is Matt Patricia, who is the former Patriots defensive coordinator, and he seems like he's just having a field day giving these college quarterbacks crazy looks, like stuff that they wouldn't be expected to know until the next level. And now they're having to decipher. He's changing up blitzes. He's bringing pressure from everywhere. Like he'll show you something at the beginning of the snap, and then it all just changes once the ball's snaps. Ohio State's defense, especially with Caleb Downs, looking fantastic. Another game, which was a lot closer. Number 8, Alabama takes down number 14, Missouri, 27-24. And Alabama was almost taken down late in this game by Mizzou. Mizzou had a chance on the last drive of the game to drive down the field and take it, and then they ended up throwing a pick. It was the first top 15 battle in Missouri since 1979. Yeah, Alabama's rolling. They're going to move up in the rankings this week, and I don't know. Mizzou was 5-0. I expected it to be closer. It was closer. I thought maybe this was a possible upset alert. Alabama just proved to be a little too strong for them.
Yeah, it would have been. I did see this last drive by Missouri. It was hard. It would have been hard for them to get even in field goal position. They had was it like 30 seconds, maybe less than that on the clock.
I did see their end zone.
Oh.
They're doing like stadium renovations, and so there's just a big construction site at the end of one of their end zones. On to the next game. Number 7, Indiana walks into Eugene, Oregon, and takes down the number 3 Oregon Ducks. This game was
Future New Orleans Saint Fernando Mendoza puts on the clinic. He went duck hunting, brother.
Duck hunting easily. I will say Dante Moore did not look too sharp in this game. He had a touchdown, but he also had 2 interceptions. That played himself right out of the Heisman conversation. But Fernando Mendoza might have played himself right into it. He was your Brodie of the week, and for good reason. This game was one thing that stood out to me was everyone and their mother took Oregon in this game, except for Pat McAfee. He stuck true to his Indiana roots and took them. I guess since he's replacing Lee Corso now, this was one of his first like big upsets that he chose, and he was right on it. But other than that, man, Oregon falls to it. I haven't given this Indiana team enough credit, I don't think. And this was their first test. I was like, oh, we'll see what they're about, when they go into Eugene and have to play the Ducks. And, man, they showed out. They remained undefeated, 6-0. They're going to move up in the ranking. If you're an Indiana fan, I think they were in the playoffs last year, right? So they're looking to get right back in the conversation. I think they have to play – who's their remaining schedule? Who's the big game that they have coming up? I think they play Ohio State. Yeah, they play Michigan State. So this was their last ranked game that they'll play all season. So it could be easy coasting for the rest of the
Well,
way.
we said that about Tech after they beat Utah,
We'll
but
get
that was
into
before,
yeah.
so maybe they will play another ranked game, but
It just depends on how the rankings. I do see they have UCLA who just took down Penn State, but over there, not too much. Moving on to the next game that was going on at the same time, and probably the one that I was locked on, just being from Dallas, and a lot of people probably from Texas or were watching, was the number 6 Oklahoma Sooners taking on this can't be right, unranked Texas, and they lost to them. Texas 23, Oklahoma 6. Last episode, we made a big deal about Texas being a favorite in this game, and they covered. It was a 1.5 spread, or I think last episode we said it was a 2.5 spread to Texas, and ended up falling to 1.5. But it should have been more. Texas took them down pretty easily. This game, I will say, was a boring game up to halftime. It was 6-3 at half, and then Texas went on to score 20 unanswered against Oklahoma.
I will say they do play obviously the Cotton Bowl, the actual Cotton Bowl stadium every year.
Yeah, it's a
So I
neutral
mean,
site.
maybe so maybe the spread is that low because it is a neutral site.
Yeah. John Mateer did play in this game 17 days after surgery on his thumb, starting quarterback for Oklahoma. And he may have came back a little too early. He did have 3 interceptions in this game. It just was not a good look. Someone that was probably in the Heisman conversation didn't really show up, didn't have best throws out there all day. One thing that I did think was not funny, but it was kind of cynical, was Booger McFarland going into this game. They were doing a close-up on John Mateer, and they were showing his hand, and Booger McFarland said, I would step on Mateer's hand if he's down on the ground or something. I was like, that's kind of a crazy thing to say on national television. But
It's a little
I
Ndamukong Suh.
don't know if he said I would, but he said like somebody should step on it. It was along those lines of someone should step on his.
He was
on
like, if I
Mateer's
was
hand.
Texas defense, like I would,
Yeah, there's something I
maybe
would
get a little
step
dirty.
on. Yeah. But Texas special teams came through. They did miss 2 field goals, but they did have a punt return for a touchdown in the fourth quarter to pretty much put this game away. I was talking to a Texas fan. I won't say who because he probably wants to remain anonymous, but he did say that punt return should have been called back because there was definitely some blocks in the back. And Arch Manning, I know people want to hate on him for last week for losing to Florida, but you can't hate on him this week. It seems like Sarkisian said this. Bless you. Sarkisian said this in the post-game press conference last week, but he's like, when we win, no one wants to give Arch credit, but when we lose, it's all Arch's fault. I will give Arch some credit. There was no turnovers in this game. It was a mid game from him, but I mean, that's all you needed to do. Texas defense was holding down Oklahoma pretty well. And also from that same Texas fan, they weren't, super excited on the way they won, but hey, Texas won. That was the quote I got from him.
Yeah, I do want to circle back to Mateer. Pretty sure it's his throwing hand that he had surgery on.
I can't
Right
remember
hand?
Chan.
I believe it was.
I think you're right.
If it was his other hand, like that wouldn't be much of a story.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, it's hard to tell if he played poorly because of just like strictly like decision making or offensive scheme, whatever it is, or is it because he can't really grip the ball and rip it, as hard and as well as he could when he was fully healthy? Obviously, the thumb is probably the most important finger when you're gripping a football.
Oh, this is a good conversation.
I mean,
I think it's
the
the
only
index
thing,
finger.
really.
Yeah.
If your
It's
thumb is
the last thing that touched the ball whenever you're
but
throwing it.
the only way you're holding the football is with your thumb.
That's how anything that humans do.
How else are you going to throw it though? How else are you going to hold the ball if your thumb isn't?
Can we put this on the
100%?
quote card? Matt says the thumb is the most important ligament.
100%
There
with
we go.
holding a ball in
Not
general.
ligament,
Yeah, whatever.
appendix, whatever.
I mean,
We're not a
just
health
in a
podcast.
football in general, like holding the football, you need your thumb. That's what helps grip the ball. That's the only thing. That's the only way you're going to hold it.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting
If
they
the
didn't
thumb
say
is bothering you, that's incredibly annoying, I'm sure, and it's probably going to bother him for the rest of the year.
Matt, did you see whenever they're talking about the way the surgery happened, they said that they were just like speculating?
Yeah, they didn't know exactly what was wrong.
Yeah, they
kind of just put in a rod there.
They either put in a rod, they put in 3 screws, or there was some other way, but they didn't know. I guess that information isn't disclosed on how the surgery took place, which that seems like a big thing you'd want to know. But I guess Oklahoma didn't want Texas knowing.
Are you saying the doctors didn't know, or like they didn't release that information?
They shouldn't release that information. Obviously, the doctors had to have known, but
I was going to say, yeah, probably.
Oklahoma didn't score in the second half, and like I said, Texas kind of was able to outgain them, and this game was put away after that punt return. So,
And I don't want to kick a man while he's down, but I've said that Mateer is just not Heisman.
yeah, I think he might have just came back too early, 17 days after surgery. Don't get me wrong, like the toughness is there. That's, what I want to see, but he just didn't look sharp. Maybe it's from days of not practicing, or I don't know. He just wasn't getting those reps that he was probably getting when he was the fully healthy starter. So Oklahoma, even no matter what happens in this season, they're gonna say it wasn't a successful season because they didn't beat Texas. Moving on to the next game. I didn't watch this game, but I just want to mention the Texas A&M Aggies are still undefeated. They took down the Florida Gators 34-17. And yeah, I think this game, it was close at half. It was 21-14 at half, and then they were able to put it away pretty easily. So Texas A&M continues to roll. Let me see who they got coming up next week. I don't think they got Arkansas next week, which I guess is a rival game. Isn't this the one they play at Jerry World? I know they played at the Dallas Cowboys stadium. I can see. No, they're playing it in Fayetteville this year. Normally they do like the shootout. Then after Arkansas, they got number 10 LSU. So some tests
A&M?
coming up for the Aggies.
Yeah.
Next game, the game that I do want to talk about is number 9 Texas Tech Red Raiders taking down Kansas 42-17. This game was close at half. Texas Tech, I think, went up early. I think they went up 21-0, and then Kansas came back to score 17 unanswered right in the halftime. And then Texas Tech lost their starting quarterback. Baron Morton went out with a ankle injury, and Will Hammond had to come step in and take over once again. And I tell you what, man, Will Hammond, he didn't look good going into half. The first 2 drives were just 3 and out, and then Kansas was rolling and they were getting back in the game. But then he came in and finally started balling. I alluded to in Brodie of the Week, Cameron Dickey had himself a day. What was it? It was 263 yards total rushing and 2 touchdowns. So I was able to put that one away for us. Thankfully, there was a heated exchange at the end of this game between head coach for Kansas, Lance Leipold, and Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire. There was some words said about the tortillas that were thrown, and that there should have been, I don't know. It was very heated, but there is a new rule in the Big 12 where you can't throw objects onto the field. Obviously, this only affects Texas Tech. And after the first, you could throw tortillas on the first kickoff, but then after that, it's a 15-yard penalty every time it happens because you get a warning on the first kickoff. So then there was 2 penalties on that ended up coming back and hurting Texas Tech with field position starting. Luckily, this game, we were able to put it away. But those penalties, Joey McGuire talked about it in the post-game press conference. He goes, eventually one of these, this could come back to bite us. If Texas Tech does get into the college football playoffs and they're hosting somebody, those penalties could be a very big point in the game of someone getting better field position, especially in like I said, a college football playoff game. If Texas Tech is lucky enough to host one.
So what if it's like an undercover? Let's say like Tech is playing like whatever Kansas State, whoever, and Kansas State fan puts on a Mahomes jersey, and then they're throwing tortillas every play, like every kickoff. What are they going to do about that? I think that's a ridiculous thing to do.
As someone who's a Texas Tech fan, both of us are, we don't want to give the adversaries any type of ammo on how they could take down Texas Tech. But if
even if it's just a Texas Tech fan, that's ridiculous to penalize the team for a person who's not even related to the organization. It's a fan. Like, who cares?
I think if there's one tortilla, they
pick up the tortilla. Just pick it up. Why is it 15 yards?
The Kansas head coach did say something like there was other objects being thrown. I think that's just absolutely false.
It's not like they're throwing dildos onto the field.
Yeah, this is
like the WNBA had to deal with. It's tortillas. Just eat them.
I will say Texas Tech fans have perfected the art of throwing a tortilla. Put a hole in the center of it, and it helps it fly further like a frisbee.
Really? That's great. Oh, I love
that. If you ever see the tortillas, they have a hole in the middle. That's how you know it was a Texas Tech fan. Maybe that's how they could know if it was other fans that were trying to do it.
I've always respected them in the ways they
sneak them in.
Yeah, the ways they snuck them in, dude.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
the crevices they put them in?
I used to work for the athletic department at Tech, and the way that they had to start checking for the tortillas, like they do they poke a stick in the boot, make sure that they make you lift your hat up. But
Make you
there's
take off
been
your
people.
pants?
No, they don't make you take off your pants, but that's what I'm saying. Like people will sneak those
They're in
tortillas
the
in
butt
any way
cheeks.
possible. Like
They're in the butt cheeks.
it's impossible. It's impossible to stop.
I could fit at least 10 folded tortillas in my butt cheeks.
I don't-
So I don't know how they're gonna regulate that. That's crazy.
yeah,
How
just
they're
I
penalizing.
maybe find like is there like a metal detector machine, but for like tortillas? I don't.
A flour detector?
Well, then they start buying corn tortillas, although I think the flour ones fly the best.
We're giving all the secrets, dude.
Yeah, there was if anyone watched this game in the third quarter, there was a drone show that led to a fireworks show. And there was like all this red smoke that got like, because the stadium sits in a bowl, right? And so all that smoke came and sat inside that bowl, like that's level with the ground. So no wind could get it out. It just looked like I don't know. It was a cool environment, but it definitely like hurt visibility for the players. It was an interesting thing. Texas Tech's got some money this year. They didn't change any of the firework or pyro show going on,
We're
so
just going all out.
they were going all out, and it almost. Luckily, we were running the ball very well, so I think we just ran it that drive. But it was a surprise that there was not enough wind in Lubbock to blow all that smoke out of there. So Texas Tech, you're going to move up in the rankings, and they're rolling. I will be at the next home game. They're playing Oklahoma State in 2 weeks, so hopefully they are still undefeated by then. But if they are, I might do some journalism with the podcast and do some interviews with Oklahoma State fans or Texas Tech fans and have a clip for that podcast.
I'm gonna get a clip of you throwing a tortilla on the field, dude.
Now you won't. I will not participate in any of the tortilla throwing. I will not be sneaking them in. So I'm going to help my team. I'll do it the first kickoff, and that's it. Maybe. The next game, South Carolina 10, number 11 LSU 20. Death Valley is rolling for the Tigers right now. Matt, what'd you see?
Yeah, just another mediocre game by Garrett Nussmeier, projected first round draft pick preseason. It's just once again I'm gonna circle back to that abdominal injury he suffered against Clemson. He's not able to make the throws that he usually can. Now, I don't know if that is what, made him throw 2 interceptions this week. He did have 2 touchdowns, like 250 yards, something like that, 240. Maybe that's just decision making, but he's not. I just feel like he's obviously not 100%. Just the drop off from last year to this year, it's just super noticeable. He had 4,000 yards last year, over 30 passing touchdowns, and he's not on pace for either one for this year. Luckily, the run defense, we had, I think, 160 plus yards against South Carolina. I'm sure that helped. Caden Durham out over 70. Good for him. He's one of our best players. We were short our leading receiver, Aaron Anderson, who he's a leading receiver that has like 300, and he doesn't even have a receiving touchdown. So it kind of tells you how LSU's offense has been operating this year. Luckily, my Brodie of the week, Trades Green, one of them, Trades Green, stepped up and was able to make plays when it mattered.
I thought this was going to be a real test for LSU, and it kind of seemed like they blew the doors off of South
Yeah,
Carolina.
like once again, it's just like the Florida game. It's just the LSU defense shines, just overshadows, whatever you want to call it, the LSU offense. And it's the whole reason, like pretty much why they won was the defense. They had 5 sacks, 6 TFLs, 4 pass breakups. Lenore Sellers looked like I don't want to be rude. He looked
But
bad. I mean, interception, a fumble, no touchdowns. He looked like a bum. He was projected to be like the number 1 overall pick preseason to the Saints. We're projected to have number 1 pick. Yeah, he's not there anymore. He's fallen. I don't know. I haven't kept up with the mock drafts, whatever. He's not there anymore. He's falling every single week. I don't know. Maybe he needs some new glasses, something that he wears. I know he wears those like goggles.
yeah, no touchdowns in the game for him is tough. So his stock definitely falls. I think you talk about the mock drafts that we're not keeping up with. It's because it's so early in the season. You really won't know until like come December, January, who's going to be leading in the mock drafts. I think they change weekly, just like the rankings right now. Like there's nothing set in stone.
So I can tell you for sure, Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore were not one of the top quarterbacks off the board in preseason. It was Leonard Sellers. It was like Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah,
And
guys will kind of just play their way into it.
Yeah, they've all 4 of those guys totally flip flop. So
Cool. I think that is it for the recap of college football. We'll get into the preview here. I'm starting off with we're just going to kind of go through like the ranked matchups. I know there's probably other good matchups, but we kind of try and stick in the top 25. There is an 11 a.m. kickoff for LSU, number 10 LSU. They move up. They move up one. Yeah, they move up one to take on at number 17 Vanderbilt. That's going to be a very good game, possibly. Vanderbilt, still hurting after that Alabama game, but still ranked. I think it's a good Vanderbilt team, and LSU is going to have to come in there with their offense and hopefully put up some points. Number 1, Ohio State's taking on Wisconsin. Probably going to go Ohio State's way. I don't think Wisconsin's going to put up much of a fight. The next matchup, number 5, Ole Miss taking on number 9, Georgia, will probably be the matchup of the week just because Ole Miss still undefeated. It's going to go into Athens. Kirby Smart, after the whole timeout controversy last week, the Bulldogs are rolling. They rolled Auburn pretty well, and actually, I think they barely snuck it out against Auburn. But it's going to be a real test for them. Number 4, Texas A&M. Like I said, they're playing Arkansas. And then number 7, Texas Tech taking on Arizona State, who just lost to Utah. And that game was just like a soaking wet game, but Arizona State just fell out of the top 25 ranking. So Texas Tech's going to have to hopefully have Baron Morton back by then, and that could be a real easy trap game for them. The nightcap, number 11, Tennessee taking on at number 6, Alabama. Good rivalry game there in Tuscaloosa. Number 20, USC taking on number 13, Notre Dame. Matt, you're shaking your head.
Dude, how's Notre Dame 13, man?
They're climbing back up. They went
I've said it
0-2 to start.
before. Dude, the only good teams they played, I mean, to be fair, they lost to A&M, who's like 4. Miami, who's number 2 right now. They've beat, they're 3-2. They're 4-2. They beat Purdue, who they gave up 30 points to. They beat Arkansas. They beat Boise State. Okay, they beat NC State. Congratulations. They're 13.
They lost to Texas A&M.
We're going to reward them for, I just said that. Lost to A&M, who's 4th. Lost to Miami, who's number 2 right now.
Lost to Miami, that's who it was.
But we're going to reward them for losing to a good team. That makes no sense. They lost. They're 4-2. They're 13th in the nation? No.
Yeah, and I think
we saw how good they are against competent competition, and they're not good.
We'll play a little devil's advocate here.
Well, actually,
Miami and Texas A&M are top 5 teams, and Notre Dame probably isn't a top 5 team, but I don't ever think you should be penalized for losing to a team that's in the top 5. But they've just moved into the top 5.
Insane thing to say.
Yeah.
To be fair, they've lost by 1 score to both teams, to A&M and Miami.
Well, I'm saying you should drop.
A loss is a loss.
Crazy, yeah.
No, you should drop. You should drop crazy. If they're 4-2?
They are the highest ranked 4-2 team right this week. They're number 13 at 4-2. The next 4-2 team is Texas at 21. So.
The committee just bends
this
over.
Isn't the committee. This is the AP poll. This is like all the news.
Yeah, the AP committee, whatever you want to say. Sure, it's not the playoff committee. Whatever. Still, AP poll. They like the big name teams being in there. I don't want to say anything crazy, but
yeah, you're gonna get us in trouble with AP poll.
Are we paying for rankings?
And then just the final game that was a ranked matchup, Big 12 matchup here. Number 23 Utah at number 15 BYU. That'll be a good one. This is the one that Utah was saying they were yelling F BYU the whole time they were playing Tech. So this is going to be a big rivalry game for them.
Is this the Battle of the Mormons?
This is the Super Bowl for the Mormons.
The Mormon Super Bowl, dude?
The Mormon Super Bowl.
Not an alcoholic drinking site. Yeah. Just vibes.
There'll probably be plenty of alcoholic beverages being consumed in this game.
It's not allowed. They can't drink alcohol.
They can do it at the stadium.
No, they can't.
They just can't get crazy. It's trouble with the Mormons.
They're not allowed, dude. Joseph Smith will come down and, spank them.
Just some other rankings that are just the AP poll. Say what you will about it, but is just what I'm going off of until we get the college football rankings. I think that comes out in a couple weeks. Ohio State's still number 1. Miami moves up to 2, or I guess they were still at 2, but they handled their business. Indiana moves up to 3, so they jump 4 spots. Texas A&M 4, Ole Miss 5, Alabama 6, Texas Tech 7, slowly climbing up. Oregon at 8, Georgia at 9, and now, Matt, we can keep it at the top 10. LSU, number 10.
They're not going to be there for long. We talked about Florida as a gauntlet. Now LSU has a gauntlet.
It was a pretty good gauntlet. So,
should I? Vanderbilt, number 17, Vanderbilt, number 4, A&M, number 6, Alabama. and then close out the season. I mean, they have two little kind of cupcake teams: Western Kentucky, Arkansas, then closing out against OU. But who knows? These next 3 weeks these all are must wins if they want to make the playoffs, I believe.
Yeah,
They
I did
might
see
could afford to lose one of these, like one of the last 5 games they have left, maybe. But
there
yeah,
is only, well, I guess there's 7 or 8, 9 unbeaten teams. But in the top 10, there's only 7 unbeaten teams left, which I think I saw something yesterday that said there won't be an undefeated team as the national champion. It says those days are kind of beyond us now with NIL. I think we might see one this year with Ohio State.
I was gonna say, I think if anybody has a chance to do it, either them, maybe
Uh-oh.
Indiana, maybe.
Okay. I
But
thought you were going to say Texas Tech. I was like, I don't think Texas Tech's going to win the national championship. Dude, if Texas Tech won the national championship, I would lose my mind on the podcast. But
I think we're both getting banned. Our
yeah,
podcast is gonna be history.
don't tune into that
Herstory.
episode
It's
if
gonna be
Texas Tech
Herst.
wins a national championship.
It's gonna be herstory.
But yeah, I think
They might. They have one of the best offensive, top 10 offense, top 10 defense.
we'll see. But yeah, that'll kind of be the college football recap. And next, we'll just kind of get into close out the show. Maybe talk a little MLB playoffs, but we'll see. All right, we're back to close out the show. But before we do, there's a couple housekeeping things we got to talk about. The MLB playoff picture is now looking more clear as we see it. We have the Dodgers taking on the Brewers. I think the Brewers are a hot team right now, so I'm hoping the Brewers pull this out. I want to see I like seeing a new champion in baseball. It's not gonna be my team. I want it to be someone that maybe won it before, hasn't won it in a while. Dodgers won it last year.
I was gonna say it's hard for a new team to come in when there's no salary cap.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like seeing these small market teams come in and pull it out. And then you got on the other side, you got the Mariners taking on the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays took down the Yankees. The Mariners went to a 15 game 5 against who was it? The Detroit Tigers. I almost said the Lions.
Detroit Lions.
So
Big Goff went 2 for 4, 3 RBIs.
that was a hell of a game. That was almost. I love it when it's almost just 2 full games.
Dude, that's funny because I worked late. I worked the afternoon shift the day they played that. I got home like it was like bottom of the 6th, I believe, and my friend like asked me the score because he was at some concert where he didn't really have service. And I was like, yeah. Kerry Carpenter just hit a tank for the Tigers. They're up 2-1 over the Mariners. This was like bottom of the 6th, and then like there's an entire baseball game played, an entire 9 innings before the game ended. Like they played an entire length of a baseball game.
It was just scoreless too. It was just 0-0s. I thought that game was never going to end. I was wondering who they were going to start bringing in to pitch. Once you get that long in the game.
Luckily, some Mariners guy knocked an RBI, a single RBI, able to score to tie it up. But dude, shout out to their pitchers. They were bringing in obviously everybody in.
I thought they were going to start calling us to come in and pitch, Matt.
Yeah, I saw some funny tweet on Twitter. I took a screenshot of his phone and it was like, he got a call from the Detroit Tigers bullpen. He was like, "I'm going in, boys."
They just had it empty, and then the Mariners, the quick turnaround. They've already played 2 games against the Blue Jays. They've won both of them after that. Like they had a day rest after that 15, and then they won both of them against the Blue Jays.
It ain't over yet.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I expected them when they played game 1 to just lose that because they had no energy. They still needed to rest or something. But no, they went in and took care of business, snuck 2 out in Toronto. So Mariners are my team that I'm following. I'm rooting for them. Your Phillies might be up. Matt, do you have a new team? Who are you rooting for?
I do like Big Dumper.
The Big Dumper. Oh, no, you can't come into the Mariners. You're going to jinx them.
All right, give me the Dodgers then.
Dodgers,
let's get the Brewers in the World Series.
Yeah, Matt, just fade Matt, whatever he's...
Another funny little thing I saw during the game, actually. It was during one of the extra innings. Like the Tigers catcher came up to hit, and obviously Kyle Riley was there catching. And the Tigers catcher was like, "How are your legs holding up?" And Kyle Riley was like, "About as good as your legs are holding up." Dude, shout out to both of them. 15 innings squatting down like that. That's insane to do.
Yeah.
Their legs must be taxed.
I remember in Little League when I used to play, it was like you had the padding or something, behind your calves so you could like have something to sit on. And then it'll be you don't get that. It's just a full squat for 9 innings, or in this case, it was like 15 whatever innings.
I remember that. It's funny. I was catcher too in PB, and I got hit in the nuts or some like foul ball or something like that. And that was the last time I played catcher.
Yeah, you weren't wearing your cup? Unfortunate. Last thing of housekeeping, we talked about it last podcast. We got absolutely fleeced by LeBron. The second decision that was coming, it was just to announce his new bottle of Hennessy. LeBron, say what you will about a basketball player in that regards, he's a great marketer. I fully expected a retirement. We were even talking about it. Matt was saying that, I don't even know what you said on it. You said like he was going to.
I was like, it was going to be either something either he's going to retire or it's going to be something completely unrelated to basketball.
It was so dumb. And I'm sure he got all the clicks that he wanted on it, but we got bamboozled. I've now made a stand. We're never talking about LeBron unless it's something in a basketball game ever again. Just because I feel like I was betrayed in that news, and I thought we were going to be ahead.
I mean, to be fair, the season's about to start. It starts like, was it this Friday? Next Friday?
I think it is this
Friday
week.
or Friday. But like, if you thought he was going to announce his retirement like a week before the season started, I don't.
Yeah, we're gonna get it'll be something in the summer.
There's some like Lakers fan, I think, that bought like tickets for this upcoming season because he thought like the ticket prices obviously went up crazy in value once he like
made that announcement. Second decision was coming.
Decision, and so he bought these tickets. And as soon as LeBron said, "Oh, it's just I'm just partnering with Hennessy," obviously,
I was so mad.
The value of those tickets fell. Those price of the tickets fell dramatically, and I was like suing LeBron. I think
I'll get in with them, bro.
He's suing somebody, and he's like, I mean, that's on you, brother.
I wanted to take down the episode of the podcast, cut it out, and re-upload it. That was just, I even put it in the title, bamboozled. I think I got bamboozled more than anything. Like I said, this will be the last thing we talk about LeBron unless he wins the finals or something. It's just, we're not going to do that anymore. We'll talk about Luka, though. Luka's the GOAT. And I think that was all the housekeeping we had. We'll go ahead and just we'll close out the show. Thank you to everyone for listening and streaming the episodes. This is fun every week. Me and Matt get to sit down and spreading the word about the show. I think, we don't look at the numbers, but they keep going up. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And there will be a little bit of a different time next week, I believe. I think we're going to record Tuesday and upload Wednesday. But I've said that before, and it changes on, it just depends on schedules. Next week might be a little bit of a later in the week episode, and it might not be so much recapping the NFL or recap at college. It might just be straight preview, or we might do another quiz again. Matt, you got anything?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's nice to see there's been like a steady incline of, views and likes on our TikToks and stuff. But it's fun to see that on our side, but that's obviously not why we're doing it. We're doing it for the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
And just because, we love sports. We love to talk about it. We decided to put it up for other people to listen to. So we're not gonna sit here and beg you all for, follows or likes or views or anything like that. We just appreciate anybody who does decide to like.
Maybe you won't. I will. Like and subscribe the episode right now and rate the podcast on Spotify. I'm the analytics guy.
That's fair. We just appreciate it. Whatever, whatever type of, positive feedback we get from y'all. We appreciate it, and we respect it. And negative, we respect it. We're not perfect, obviously, like we say every single week.
It's episode 5. We try to get 500. Wait till episode 500. Then
when we have Joe Rogan on here, and
I was thinking like dream guests I would love to have on the podcast. Maybe that's a segment we'll bring up, and then put those clips out and see who we
give me Luka, bro. Luka, Josh Allen.
Yeah, I want to get Post Malone on here to talk about the Cowboys. That would be fantastic. That's probably 1-1 guest right there.
I'll hit him up, dude.
Yeah, I'll put this clip out there for him. See if he wants.
I'll show him our latest TikTok, our 36 like TikTok.
Maybe we'll get LeBron on for the actual second decision.
We're gonna be the first to break LeBron's retirement.
Yeah, first. LeBron, you're retiring? No, it's another bottle of Hennessy.
50 million views.
So dumb. Yeah. So with that, we'll close out the show. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. God bless you.
All right, love you.